Good evening, everyone, and welcome along to the final race of the FRS Division 5 season. It's round 12. It's Silverstone. We've only got one to go. I think we're all a little sad about that. I'm Harringzord, and as always, I am joined by McNugget. How you doing?
Hello there for the curtain call, the finale, the last dance. I'm trying to run out of metaphors for what we can call this. The last chance for Division 5 to yeet Ice Kid Man for a win.
So, Formula 1 can be a cruel sport. We've learned.
Yes.
The Division 6 race it didn't quite go the way I wanted it to, but, you know, these things happen. And to be fair, TKeg probably needs something similar to happen in this race because Ice Kid Man has one hand and four fingers, really, on this trophy. He's 24 points clear with a maximum of 26 to play for.
True. So what you're saying is TKeg also needs to pay off a division coordinator to yeet out the championship winner.
Let's be reasonable. I knew you would do this. So Hercules has been in this championship race as well in the Racing Point. He is now too far back to be able to do anything about Ice Kid Man. And Van on base in a respectable fourth. So it's very much Ferrari versus Racing Point in the Constructors' Championship as well. That can still be settled this evening as well. But obviously, Ice Kid Man, he doesn't need to do a lot. He just needs to keep it clean and get it over the line.
Indeed. Hercules unfortunately did everything he could last week to try and keep in contention and just wasn't able to do enough. Van on base, I would personally like to say, is probably my most improved driver of Division 5. I think week on week, Van on base has steadily gotten better. So that's something, if they care about that, is something to perhaps take away going into next season. But yep, Ice Kid Man, the one to catch, the one to beat.
So Ferrari 20 points clear of Racing Point. It's between those two, and obviously Racing Point down to one car, with we think October 4th having dropped out. So if somebody could let me know how it works when they've got one car, because this is the fourth race now, I think, and therefore they'll be eligible for the extra points that you get. But I have no idea how it works. If anybody can work that out and let me know, we're going to have to do some maths on the fly during this race, which is what we like.
I believe they get a point and a half.
Point and a half.
So for every point they earn, they get an extra half point, I believe.
Okay. Answers on a proverbial postcard.
Yeah, Timalele is here. Maybe he'll know more. He's somebody. And Captain Minor would probably be able to tell us as well.
Now,
in the chat.
Nugget, what I did want to do, remember way back at the start of this season when me and you put together some predictions about who we thought was going to win these championships despite having no knowledge of any of these drivers whatsoever?
You mean when I picked Jock James because he sounded the most Scottish out of everybody and then realised he was German?
I mean exactly that, yes.
Yeah.
So I have dug back into my graphics from the Brazilian Grand Prix, and this is what I said. So this was my championship prediction based on literally no evidence whatsoever. And you know what? I think I've done okay, actually. I think that's not too bad, except Jock.
You've picked, two people that left and Jock.
I've picked two people that got promoted, and to be fair, I've got King Bart in 5th, and he's still in 6th.
No, that doesn't count. That does not count.
But I've got TKeg and Hercules in there. I've got Mahoney in the top 8, which is about right. Cookie is one place outside the top 8 in 9th at the moment, so I don't think that was too bad. And I've got Racing Point as the Constructors' Champion, which is still possible. I'll take that.
Oh God, I picked Hammersip and Mahoney. I've got no chance here.
Yeah. Yours doesn't make quite as good reading. I'll be honest.
Let's see it then.
Well, yeah, it'll come up in a moment. So that was mine. I think on the balance of things, I'll take that because it could certainly have been worse. But when we get to Nuggets predictions that were based on, and I quote, weird Scottish logic, it gets... it's worse.
Is there any better kind? Is there any better kind than
weird Scottish it turns logic? Out yes. So this is Hummersep's top... not Hummersep's, this is Nuggets top 8. So...
Yeah, oh God! Oh God! Kana, I started the curse before I even knew it.
So you've got both McLarens up in there. Nordy's up in 5th, to be fair, so you've nearly got Nordy bang on, actually. King Bart is still in the top 8. That German one is in Division 6 now.
Yeah.
And both the Mercedes, you've got them second and third, they're 8th and 10th. I mean, Hummersep was looking good after 4 races, wasn't he? And then
he shot the bed after Baku.
yes, he was looking a bit less good after that. But the Jock James pick, truly spectacular.
It was, but then I totally forgot I picked Kana. And it was more, I just remembering like, I cannot pick Kana because of all the Kana way Scottish people say it. And I just realised that the curse has happened from before I even remembered.
I mean, who would ever have seen that coming?
I know,
Would
right?
ever have seen that coming? So,
oh, that was fun.
We've got one race to go. As we say, Ice Kid Man pretty much has his hands on the trophy here. But it is possible that TK can walk away with the Division 5 championship. This is what needs to happen. So, Ice Kid Man wins the championship today if he finishes P9 or higher. TK basically must win today's race to be able to win the title. So if TK doesn't win, then it's all irrelevant. We've been there. It's possible. If TK wins with the fastest lap, then Ice Kid Man must finish P9 or higher to win the championship. P10 is good enough if TK doesn't secure the fastest lap point. Then there would be, if Ice Kid Man finished 10th and got fastest lap, then 10th without TK getting the fastest lap, they'd be tied on points, and then Ice Kid Man would win on countback with the most victories this season. So if Ice Kid Man just drives around and finishes 7th, it's done. He'll win this championship. There we go.
So very straightforward.
Simple, right? Easy. What could possibly go wrong?
Well, we could make some predictions, and that could go really wrong.
Well, you're going to predict Ice Kid Man to win, right? No, you're going to pick Kana to win.
Yeah.
That's kind of how
this is
you
going to be the one time Kana's going to have the drive of his life, and then crash on the last corner. I mean, I've got to predict something about mental, right?
I think so.
I've got to. So I'm going to predict that I'm going to put crazy logic and craziness. Remember we talked about how Hummersep and Mahoney were like erratic efficiency.
Yes.
So I'm going for some logic with some erraticness. So I'm going to say that Evil Steel takes out Ice Kid Man and T-Keg finishes in first.
Okay. I'll allow it. I think it's fine. I tell you what we don't have this evening, which works very much in Ice Kid Man's favour, and that is many cars. This will be the lowest number of cars in the field that we've seen in Division 5 by some stretch this evening.
Yes.
We're looking at maybe 13 cars. So in theory, that makes it even easier for Ice Kid. Basically, he just needs to not put this in the wall somewhere stupidly like he did in Belgium. So it is possible.
It does, however, also make it easier for... I don't see T-Keg on the lineup.
I also don't see TK on the lineup. Which is about the worst thing. If you're trying to talk up a championship fight,
yeah,
that's not amazing, is it? That's not really what you want to see.
Hello, T-Keg.
I don't think we've got a TK this evening, and on that, I think we're done. I think that's it.
Yeah. So everybody, we'll just wrap it up here. We'll see you next season.
So yeah, we're going to have 13 cars, and it looks like TK isn't able to make it tonight.
Van on base, you're in chat, and you're his teammate. Any news?
Well, look at that. If I'd known, I could have saved myself 20 minutes on the various graphics I had produced.
Yeah. It could be a running late. I don't think having a sub on last race of the season is the right way to go.
Yeah, I mean, I have no idea. Obviously, it's interesting for the Constructors' Championship because it's basically a 1v1 now between Hercules and Van on Base. But I think Hercules actually gets extra points because his teammate has already missed 3 races in a row. But of course, because this is TK's first missed race, I don't think Van on Base gets any additional points. So the Constructors' Championship is all to play for still. We've at least got that going for us. So the cars are just heading out for their installation lap now, and we will have some Division 5 action for the last time. The last time. Are we ready for the last time?
I mean,
maybe we are.
I mean, if there's no race to have, yeah, definitely.
Now, my weather forecaster
Right.
is telling me wet qualifying, dry race. You might have seen
Wet qualifying. Okay. That evens up the qualifying significantly there.
Yeah, so that does make it mildly interesting because it doesn't make it a given that Ice Kid Man runs away with qualifying, sticks it on pole, and just drives to the front. Wet quali means that somebody else can produce something a little special, and we might get a bit of a mixed up grid, which is, let's face it, precisely what we want.
Yes, and I'm definitely sure that Division 5 will not let us down, despite no championship being on the line for the majority of them. I'm sure that won't stop them putting on a show, knowing their history.
Well, if anything, it takes the pressure off because they don't have to worry about the fact that it might affect the championship, and we can just go for this. But it's a very reduced field, which is a shame because we've actually in Division 5, considering it's been, well, what's the word for it? A division of action and
they've been keen on getting on the action. They've not been shy.
Controversy occasionally. Is that the word I'm looking for? Maybe. But we've had good attendance rates. I think 17, 16 has been as low as we've had. So 13 is a little bit of a shame. But you know what? We'll put on a show with the 13 drivers we've got here. Eh?
Yeah. I know Iana5 had posted earlier on saying that Ireland was let out of the lockdown and hence was immediately down the pub.
You know what? It makes all the sense in the world.
Yeah, exactly. So I don't know if that's what's happened to T-Keg and he's just having a keg or that's where the others have gone. But, I mean, hopefully it's still going to be a good race to go. We're going to have, obviously, a lot of action and I will keep an eye out. Jock Jameson said they'll wait and practice if he comes up soon. It says he's maybe running a wee bit late, so I'll keep an eye out for that for us.
Okay, yeah, that's why we've got this extra little bit of track photo mode.
Yeah, nonsense. They're just doing their warm-up lap with them coming in and retiring, so we'll be up in just a moment or two.
Indeed, yeah. Then we'll get this qualifying session, which would be, I don't know how wet the qualifying session will be. Like, is it going to be full wet tyres or is it just going to be intermediate tyres? But we'll soon see.
Do you mean if it's going to be mildly moist or just a full-on downpour?
If you like, yeah.
So Jock James saying they're going to give him 5 more minutes as he did sign up for the race and is a championship contender.
Okay, that's fair enough.
So if he's got till 9:15, and if not, they'll go to qualification at that point. Which fair play to the division for doing that, I would say.
Superb, and it means that we have to kill 5 more minutes. So, you got any jokes?
Stash is coming back onto the track in the last race.
Be reasonable, Nugget, please.
I don't have to be reasonable. It's the last race of the week. What are they going to do? Cancel me? I don't know who's in chat that I can make fun of.
Division 1 and 2 drivers, so you're not going to do well there.
It's all right. Doesn't mean I can't make fun of them. Tim O'Leary, didn't he win a race and have it taken off from him? See, that's a good start.
I'm Riscardi's here.
We've got Crystal Hunter here as well. Crystal Hunter, the world famous Skaven Blood Bowl player. Formula 1 players meet Blood Bowl players. You've got nothing in common apart from
me, literally me.
Yeah.
And maybe Nugget.
Van on Base is here. Van on Base has let down everybody by losing his teammate.
No, but we might have found him. We're looking down the back of the sofa for one of the championship contenders at this point.
Yeah, Van on Base. Weren't you meant to be looking after him? Have you lost him a la a drunk Kimi Räikkönen?
What I'm excited for is like someone who looks a little bit like TK to just be hastily pushed into the car and be like, "You'll do. You've got a crash helmet on. We can't even tell the difference."
Like that episode of Top Gear where there was like, "Yeah, it's James May racing against the Aussies, and it's just the Stig." They're trying to rapidly put a Division 1 Ferrari driver into the T-Keg Ferrari ahead of this.
I mean, Crusoe, you say that, but I was watching that Division 1 race in Canada, and I think you had a far better time in Canada for the most part than you did in Division 2 for the whole season. It's a weird game sometimes.
Yeah. Still no word, sadly, on the Kegmeister. Hopefully, a few more minutes. Hopefully, it'd be worse if he turned up right at the end of
Oh,
qualifying. I
it'd be
must say,
amazing if he turned up with 5 minutes of qualifying to go and then just stuck it on
rattled,
pole.
rattled it all out, stuck it on pole in the rain. Yeah.
That is a good one. Favorite moments of the Division 5 season. Right, let's have some of this nugget. Right, so let me ask you firstly, who
Yeah.
your best drive from a single like driver in a race where you thought actually that was pretty good.
I would actually say Jan in Hungary for being out of nowhere and coming into Hungary, getting a second place, I believe, spotless race. I thought it was phenomenal. I mean, I could name countless Ice Kid Man drives as well. Um, I like Hercules and Bahrain just because he was so slow on the hard tires and it was hilarious.
I'd
What
have
about you, son?
I'd have Hercules in Mexico for me.
In
That was
Mexico,
one of the
yeah,
ones you missed. But
yeah.
he qualified seventh and just overtook everybody to
I
win
guess
that
he wasn't on
race.
the hard tires, yeah.
No, he was in fact anything but. But he was phenomenal in Mexico. The next one I was going to ask you for was your most heartbreaking moment.
Well, probably to this if T King doesn't show up. Heartbreaking as well. Jock James at any race, deal at because Jock James is a penalty magnet.
So Deolat, I believe, is a reef, if I'm not wrong.
Right.
So hope the exams are going well, Arif.
Yeah. Are you still needing us to commentate on them? We've got
Jock James at Spa. I would have Iona last week in Canada on for his first podium of the season and loses it because of two speeding penalties into the pit lane.
Yeah.
He loses it by a tenth of a second because of two speeding, 10 seconds worth of penalties for speeding in the pit lane. That is heartbreaking. But also, you should have done better. You should have just not sped in the pit lane.
Exactly.
Who would do that?
I know. Imagine speeding at the pit lane on your last race and it possibly causing you the title. What about your overtake of the season? I think we're both going to say the same one.
If this isn't Dan Gilligan in Hungary, why are we even playing the game?
Exactly. That's exactly where I would go.
Anyway, the good news, everybody, is that we can bring you a track guide here. So this is the Silverstone circuit. We all know the Silverstone circuit. It's got 2 DRS zones. It's got some corners in it. Corners are good. And we're excited to see. That was a really professional job that I did on that track guide there. I thought it was really good. But it's rain. It doesn't look like it's like massively heavy rain.
It looks intermediate, although potentially it might not even be intermediate. You know when the race does that silly, it's raining but not enough for intermediates.
Yeah, well, you'd be the first to go out on medium tyres, wouldn't you? If it's raining.
Well, I'm Scottish. I'm used to I was 18 before I knew what rain wasn't. You know, Bain thought it was bad growing up in the dark. I was a man before I saw sunshine.
What a statement.
Exactly. I was born in a cagoule and lived in a cagoule until I was 21. And people who don't know what a cagoule is need to go and Google it.
So, first out of the pit lane is the champion-elect, Ice Kid Man. And I say the champion-elect because the unfortunate scenario is that his championship rival isn't here.
Yes. Although it would be epic if he turned up just at the end.
It really makes a mockery of... But obviously, TK has no doubt got a perfectly... He can do what he wants, right? But it's a shame. It's a shame from our point of view. And we hope that it's not like an emergency or anything like that. No, that's keeping TK away.
Ice Kid Man's kidnapped him and got him in the basement. You know? You saw what happened in Div 6 and thought, I'm not risking that.
So it's Ice Kid Man and Hercules out on the track first. We've got both Red Bulls are here. Both Mercedes are here. Both McLarens are here. Both AlphaTauris are here. And that's about it for 2-car teams.
Indeed. It's going to be interesting for sure. Well, not really, but you know what I mean.
Well, this isn't quite as wet as we might have liked. But this is interesting because this looks like it could dry up by the end of the session.
Indeed. So it'll be interesting to see what happens. We've had a few of these where drivers like Canurdi and that have taken advantage of the half wet, half dry qualifiers. Just as going on the route lap. So just to finish it off, favourite moment from the season so far, just in general. It could be a crash, an overtake.
Again, if I'm not picking out the entirety of Spa, what are we even doing?
Eau Rouge, basically the entirety of Eau Rouge.
You could have sat at Eau Rouge for that race,
yeah,
and it would probably have, if you'd only seen the bit at Eau Rouge, you'd probably have seen the 5th best FRS race this season.
I'm just going to say, before I say mine, Ice Kid Man's struggling to keep this car on the track, which makes you scream, where is T-Keg? I must say, probably that would be my favourite as well. However, a shout out to the Renault corner / nobody tell Kana incident. Was just
yes.
for timing was hilarious.
So we got Hercules first. He's overtaken Ice Kid Man on the outlap. But those two are going to be the first to set a representative time here. We've still got Kana in the pits, and I assume that means that Kana is doing his usual trick of waiting until everyone else has done a lap and then coming out so that we can put the camera on him and then instantly make him go into the wall.
Indeed. If anybody would do that, it would be Kana. We'll see.
So on board now with Hercules, we come through Beckett, Maggots and Beckett. These are fun corners. Really, really good fun. And onto the hangar straight.
Indeed. All the way down the hangar straight before going into Stowe.
And again, this is another really fun corner. You just, a couple of downshifts and just throw it in there. And if you're Hercules, you do a little bit of a drift as well.
Indeed. Coming out the Vale and then into Club.
We've got both the McLarens going very slowly in the loop section of the track. So Hercules looking like Ice Kid Man's caught him up quite a bit here. And Hercules round coming out of the second to last corner. And it's a little bit of rallycross as Ice Kid Man sets a 1:37.0. We don't know if that's good, but we're about to see, well, not Duke's come across the line because he's going slowly. Evil Steel's a 39.6.
I was going to say, Hercules did a 1:42 with a spin. So I'm imagining he could possibly get me. Although it just looks a bit like cold tyres.
Well, Mahoney's invalidated and Hummersep's about to set like a 2-minute something. So that's not amazing either. Here comes Daft. Daft looking like he might be about to set a relatively representative time in the Haas. And he goes second. A couple of tenths shy of Ice Kid Man. Van on base in third. And nobody else has really done a good time yet.
Indeed. I think this is going to be down to whatever driver kind of grabbed. Oh, Mahoney's retired from the session already.
In like the cars in the wall sort of way?
I don't know.
Yeah, it is. It's at the he's lost it coming out of turn 2, I think, and Mahoney is out.
Well, he'll start 13th at least, so not his worst qualifier.
And I went to go on board with Cookie to see if I could spot the crash, and Cookie was in the middle of having his own accident.
Yeah. Oh, so's Chalk James as well.
Well, Division 5, delivering already.
Did anybody tell Division 5 that the donuts were at the end of the race, not during qualification?
Well, they've gone 4th and 5th, but again, 2.5 seconds down, Jock James, at this point in the session. One of the McLarens just pitted. I don't know. What you should be doing here is just putting the intermediates on, filling it up with a bit of fuel, and just keeping going. Yeah. It's kind of pointless doing one lap and coming into the pits. Just fill it up with a bit of fuel, and just keep going until you get used to it.
The thing is, I think the tyres are so cold coming out the pits that they're not getting any heat in them on their fast lap.
Well, Hummersep's having another go in the Merc. Coming through Stowe now.
He's 8 seconds down already, so that's putting him at least, well, still 8th.
So Hummersep coming through Vale and Club now and out onto the Hamilton Straight. The renamed Hamilton Straight. That's his name now, mate. And Hummersep goes 5th fastest. 2.5 seconds still.
Douchebag straight for tonight it is then. In honour of my FRS fantasy team, I'm not calling it that.
When AlphaTauri is off again, I think it was not Jock James, it's Cookie who's facing the wrong way and continuing to face the wrong way with half a... Donuts are at the end, Cookie.
Cookie, you do not get a cookie for doing this. As Canurdi goes past him.
Yeah, so is Canurdi on a lap at the moment, or?
Canurdi is meant to be on a lap, but I don't know how much of a lap it is. We'll see.
I mean, it's clearly very difficult conditions here.
I don't know, I just think they've been a bit rubbish.
Yes. Succinct analysis, I would say.
Yeah.
As
Like,
always.
Come on. Look, right, so Canudi goes 8th. Come on, just drive, you Jessies.
Says the man who didn't race in Division 6
Yeah.
today. Hercules
Well,
has improved by a couple of tenths on this second attempt
yeah.
in the racing point. And again, with no tea cake, all of my Drive for Division 5 graphics are just, you can hear me putting them in the bin here next to me because there's no need for them. This is one, and Ice Kid Man's currently on provisional pole as well.
Just do what I do and get a bit of stick it like a post-it note and just put it
Oh,
over.
I'll retract that because Hercules has gone 7 tenths quicker than the champion-elect.
Hercules still showing that he's got a bit of pace here coming into the last race, not to be forgotten about. And of course, constructors hit points on the line.
What am I doing? We're not looking at Kana, who's on an outlap.
Well, we've got to look at Kana. We'll just. Ash, don't crash.
You know that Simpsons meme where it's like, say the line, Bart, say the line.
Yeah. I didn't do it.
Do the spin while watching you, Kana. Do the spin. So, coming up for his first lap of the session.
Yep.
And we'll see.
All the best to him.
Into the flat out. Won't be quite flat out in the rain. But turns 1 and 2 in the dry will be flat out. Into Village. And then it'll be a hard left for the loop. Very awkward corner, this one. Very, very slow. And you want to try and get the power down as quickly as you can. This is flat out, but it feels a bit scary doing so. And onto the Wellington Straight. DRS would be wide open here if we weren't in the rain. And it's as late as you can on the brake for Brooklands. And the apex is really late to that corner. Luffield is the most irritating corner possibly on the whole calendar because it takes you an age to be able to get the power down. We've got a slow-moving Red Bull on the back straight, which I don't think is causing any issues, just getting out of the way of the Ferrari. And Kana, now this Cops again would be flat out, but we're not feeling that brave. Down to 6th gear, indeed, for the Renault.
Kana did set a purple sector 1 though.
I never believe the purple sector ones. Never believe them.
Not to put pressure on him or anything.
So Kana now coming out through Maggots and Beckett's there, and onto the hangar straight. You'll eventually make your way over to the left-hand side and throw the car in as much as you dare in the rain. For Stowe. Van on base has improved to P2, but Hercules still with over half a second in his pocket here, with 8 minutes to go in this session. A little late on the brakes there, going into the chicane at Vale and then out of Club. I think I've got those two the right way around. It's one or the other. And Kana across the line. P5. That's a good lap. And he didn't crash.
Well, we'll save that to the race.
And we're happy with that. Nordy's found a second and a half here.
And Hummersept is starting his lap as he is coming round Stowe, going into. No, he's way back. He's
Kana's crashed. No, he was just letting I think he was just letting the AlphaTauri through. Don't worry. Nordy's got up to P5 for McLaren. His teammate Roy Weller about to come round across the line as well. Now we've seen recently Roy Weller's struggled a bit, hasn't he?
Down. Ice Kid Man is second up on his time, so it could be a first place here. Yep.
Half a second goes the other way, and Ice Kid Man is back on provisional pole. Much more like it from the champion-elect.
He's still hoping to see a T-Keg has entered the session in like a proper Tyson Fury moment, you know. The crowd goes, ah! But probably not.
Hummersepp across the line to start his lap. We got a slow-moving Haas in the final sector. Van on base is coming into the pit lane. And I think one of the AlphaTauris, I think Cookie's just on an out lap. So yeah, I think Hummersepp's about the man to watch at this point. As he comes through the loop. We've got yellow flags all over the place.
Yes, very slow-moving cars.
And it's no surprise, Division 5 in the rain.
They like pina coladas, that's for sure.
So there's a big gap now. The top three and Daft actually are sort of in their own little race, and everybody else is quite far back here. But of course, you know, if you're 6th and you're 1.7 seconds off, it doesn't matter as long as you're 6th because all that goes out the window in the race. But a bit of a moment there through Copse for Hummersett, but he kept his foot in. Now here he comes through Maggots and Beckett's, and that Mercedes is looking really, really light at the back. Dukes improves to P9, I think it is, for Red Bull.
Yep, Hummersett half a second down, which would still keep him in 11th here, so struggling a wee bit for pace in the rain, it would seem.
Yeah, and I mean, a lot of the time it could even come down to who's using traction control. In fact, Dukes improves to 4th. Excellent lap from the Red Bull driver, who doesn't have a point to his name yet this season, but he has only competed in 3 races, so it's not quite as bad as the Karna situation was getting earlier in the season. But we hope that Dukes, in this reduced field, can score his first points of the season today.
Yep.
And Hummersett improved his time.
Faster, but yep, still in 11th.
Daft's found about a 10th, so this will put him back ahead of Dukes if he keeps up that rate of improvement, but not much more. And Daft in the Haas goes 3rd. This is by far Daft's best qualifying of the season. Your man likes the rain.
Does. He's maybe got a bit of Scottish in him. Dukes going round again. Sector 2 down a 10th, so is looking to possibly steal that 4th position straight back from Van on Base again.
We're on board with Cookie, who's found about a 2.5 seconds, but struggling to get the power down. P3 for the Cookie Monster. That's more like it.
Nom 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 nom.
Hercules is invalidated this time around.
Dukes just spun it, unfortunately, going round Liffield. Oh no, he's even further up there. My bad. He's spun it just out of Beckett's.
Hummersett looking like he's going again. This is seeming pretty committed through Maggot and Beckett's here.
Yep.
I think it's the right thing to do in the rain. Have a few goes at this. Elliott's raiding us with a party of 14 from Division 3. Now, the Division 3 finale there was 3 drivers in that fight. If it was anything like the Division 6 finale, I imagine they all had a good time.
I'm sure they'll let us know in the chat as they arrive. Have a look, see if we've got anybody on a fast lap or such.
Hummersett just letting through Van on base there. He's on an out lap. The disappointment we've got here...
Again. Cookie's having a wee slide.
The disappointment we've got here is that Ice Kid Man is 24 points clear in the championship coming into this event, but there is no T-Keg. T-Keg not able to make it today. So, unfortunately, Ice Kid Man, by the looks of things, is guaranteed to win the Division 5 championship today. But hopefully we can have a good race to send off this division. On board with Van on base. Coming down the Wellington Straight. And again, Luffield's bad enough in the drive for waiting to get in the power, but in the rain, you just hear all day.
Yeah.
Early upshift into 4th, you can see.
Van on base, but yeah, 2 tenths up. See how he puts that together in a full lap.
So remember, we've got this constructors fight between Hercules and Van on base. Ferrari are 20 points clear of Racing Point, but I believe Racing Point are going to score 1.5 points for this one, because Oktoberfoff is now missing his 4th race in a row, whereas Van on base's teammate TK is only missing his 1st race of the season, and Van on base really struggling there coming out of Beckett's to get the power down. That'll cost him a lot of time down the back straight. He well to hold that.
We'll see if it does give him any opportunity to improve on this time, though.
He was maybe about a 10th up, but that was before he lost all of that time. Karna seems to be off coming out of Beckett's. Van on base across the line, and it is an improvement. He goes up to 4th place. Karna just moving slowly, having invalidated that lap, and I think Jock James is coming down the Hanger Straight, but he's not looking like he's going to improve just yet. There is a traffic jam of cars in Village. We've got about a minute and a half of this session left.
Yeah.
We'll see what Jock James, remember, Nuggets prediction for the championship. I'm going to put it out, it's not possible that he can win it. It's too late for Jock James. He doesn't improve this time round.
I mean, I had Kana as well, so my hopes were really over quickly, weren't they?
Ice Kid Man looking like he's been off the circuit on his outlap there. I'm not sure if he was just getting out the way of another car. We've got Nordy, who's found 8 tenths so far on this lap, and Nordy across the line, and it's 3rd place for the McLaren. That's a better lap from Nordy. So many cars God, the incidents round at the back here. Hummersep's keeping out of Daft's way, and Daft's keeping out of everyone else's way, and Nordy's now retired. Coming out of turn 1, the McLaren is really far in the wall.
Wow. We'll maybe see that on onboard Cookie.
Keep your eyes on the right-hand side of the track here. There's a McLaren somewhere over there. There it is.
Oh,
wow.
Over there.
Oh, and Cookie's lost the back end. And another front wing.
I think Cookie has crash magnetism. Like, see if nobody crashes around Cookie and he doesn't have to look at a crash car, he's fine. As soon as he drives near one, he's got to copy it.
It is so hard to tell whether AlphaTauri have spent more money on front wings or more money in the steward's room with Jock James trying to get penalties removed that weren't his fault. Van on Base is on the front row, but Ice Kid Man is still on provisional pole, and he's just crossed the line now with a lap to go. Van on Base can go again, but I think there's a McLaren of Roy Weller right in the way of him.
Roy Weller, though, is on a fast lap as well. Perhaps not the same level as fast, but we'll see what happens. Van on Base could use Roy Weller to his advantage, though, and get a good toe off him for the straights.
He could, but it's the corners that are the problem, and you can see Van on Base stuck right up behind this McLaren. And if Roy Weller's on a quick lap, he's perfectly entitled to not get out the way. And it's unfortunate for Van on Base, but that means that unless Roy Weller pulls something out of the bag, Ice Kid Man is going to take what I think is his 6th pole of the season in 12 races.
So I'm going by the Ice Kid Man, of course, dominating this division.
Yeah, I mean, the first part of the season, obviously, King Bart and Tory were knocking around. But since they've gone, Ice Kid Man has really picked up the mantle and just run with it. I might have mixed a few metaphors there.
It will be interesting to see...
and off the track, Ice Kid Man. So I think we've only got Evil Steel, who's invalidated. Jukes is coming round, but he's finished his session.
Yeah.
And it's Roy Weller, who will at least be ahead of Mahoney on the grid, because Mahoney binned it before he'd even set a time. Roy Weller having a bit of a difficult time coming out the final corner and improves to P11. Your champion-elect, Ice Kid Man. And I can go as far as to say your champion now because his rival isn't here.
Yep.
Ice Kid Man takes pole.
Daft just coming across the line to see if he can improve on that 6th place 136, and he does, but doesn't gain a place. So there we have it. Your final qualifying session of this season.
You know what? In the rain, it was actually less tense than some of the dry weather Division 5 qualifyings have been. The qualifying sessions in recent weeks have been really good. The races, these guys have been like sensible in that, and we've not been keen on that, have we? We've not been keen.
I think we had one sensible race in Hungary, and everybody since then has just jumped on the bandwagon of cursing.
I mean, Canada was a weird one where the front 6 was super sensible, and everyone behind that, it was a little bit carnage. Ooh, chase cam on the Red Bull here. Look at that. How exciting. So Ice Kid Man on pole for the final race of this Division 5 season from Van on Base and Hercules. We've still got the big hitters at the front, haven't we? Nordy's in 4th. Cookie's in 5th, and hopefully Cookie cannot remove any front wings in the race, but I'm not confident. Daft, Dukes, Karner, Hummersep, and Jock James rounding out the top 10 in qualifying. So, is Ice Kid Man just going to win? This is it. You're right. This is the.
I mean, even if he doesn't, it's we'll maybe see how interesting. I was ready to see how interesting it's going to be for 2nd and 3rd, and that's pretty much just tied up as well. This is the farewell race. Chat, everybody watching.
It is cloudy. We're expecting a dry race, but it's not sunshine. It might rain. We never know.
Cloudy, no chance of meatballs. And just the finale, the Silverstone finale. The last commentating journey we have together here for this season. You know, we're not going to miss each other.
We can't wait for this to be done.
But no. It's been great so far. So let's hope Division 5 ends not only this weekend, but this season on a high. And I'll hand over to you, Zord.
Indeed.
You had some lights that then went out. They have the formation.
Yeah.
You'd think after like 14 races, I'd remember the formation lap.
Yeah,
Right?
I'm still expecting Mark Webber to turn up at the back of the field.
Oh man, if only Mark Webber was in this game, I'd know what I was talking about.
So, of course, free choice of tyres here. And Ice Kid Man gone for the medium tyres on pole, as has Cookie, Jock James, and Roy Weller. It's very much a one-stop medium soft here. You don't need to go near the hard tyres at all. The mediums will run forever. So, I mean, I had a graphic. Look, I had a graphic and everything. Doesn't matter. Doesn't matter. TK isn't here. Ice Kid Man is officially the Division 5 champion. And this is largely a Division 5 exhibition race now.
Yep.
So who do you think will win it? Go on, give me a podium from these 13.
From these 13, Hercules.
Hercules to win.
Hercules to win. I've been giving him crap all since Bahrain for his granny driving on hard, and he's taking it in good strides. I'd love to see Van on Base get a win just to cement, because to me personally, Van on Base is the most improved driver in Division 5, so I'd love to see him cap that off with a win.
Yeah, I agree with that. That would be a popular choice for a win, I think. I mean, what else have we got? We've got, well, Cookie did win in Belgium. Nordy hasn't won a race yet this season. Has shown flashes of speed. But ultimately...
Yeah. I mean, Jock James to finish a race would be an improvement.
Yeah, right. Right. We've got once more onto the breach for Division 5, and it's Ice Kid Man on pole. But on the medium tyres, so we'll have a disadvantage off the line, certainly, and in the early part of this race, where his tyres will be grippy, but they won't be as quick as those soft tyres, to the tune of, I think about half a second a lap. So, the question is, are we ready for the final time for FRS Division 5? The final race of FRS Season 3, no less.
Indeed. The curtain call, the Bon Voyage, the Auf Wiedersehen.
Chat, I'm begging for shambles. Here we go.
I know.
It's lights out and away we go in Silverstone, and it looks like it's a good start for the Ferrari of Van on Base, who's alongside Ice Kid Man as they go into turn 1. The Williams hanging out round the outside. Ice Kid Man leads from Van on Base as they go down into Village. There's a yellow flag out onto the AlphaTauris. Jock James is around at the back of the field. In the midfield, Cookie's had a solid start. It's all actually fairly sensible. Karna's running a bit wide there, and Hummersep has made up a few places for Mercedes, but at the front, Van on Base right up behind the Williams of TK, going to the outside as they come into Brooklands. He's going to try and go all the way around the outside. The Ferrari, he's off the circuit slightly, and now he's got the inside line for Luffield, and Van on Base is right alongside Ice Kid Man here as they come up through Woodcut and across the old start-finish line. Van on Base leads the British Grand Prix. Hercules now just in behind Ice Kid Man. Those soft tyres definitely proving to have the edge in this early stage.
What a start for Van on Base. Love to see him getting up there and putting some pressure on Ice Kid Man. Evil Steel picking up 4 positions, and Mahoney seems to have followed him the whole way through. Jock James, Roy Weller, and Kana being the big losers there on the first lap, unfortunately.
Here they come down the hanger straights. Hummersep's having a look to the outside of Daft as they come into Stowe. It'll be a brave one around the outside of there. And Hummersep sweeps through into P6. Excellent move. Both drivers giving each other plenty of respect there, and lovely to see. Hummersep with a great start, actually. He's improved all the way up to P6. And Kana losing a few spaces there for Renault as we complete lap 1 of this 26-lap race. And it is, despite what the timing tower says, Van on Base continuing to lead this race for Ferrari from Ice Kid Man. What we need to check is, did Jock James get any damage? It looks like he is pitting, unfortunately. Jock James in need of a safety car already.
Jock James in pit lane, name a more iconic duo.
Nordy under pressure here from Cookie as they come down the Wellington straight. There's a few cars wide, and Mahoney's improved as well. The timing tower is just sorting itself out, which is useful. It's nice to be able to see who's where on the track. We like that.
Yep, as Mahoney has went into the top 10, did make a pass on Evil Steel, with Kana now sniffing about the Evil Steel rear wing as well, looking to make a pass just further down the field.
Van on Base, he's got good pace at this early stage of the race. He's pulled out a little bit of a gap. I don't know what the gap is, because what on earth is this timing screen? Roy Weller with a 3-second time penalty already, and Hercules all out of shape through Maggots and Beckett's there. That will give Nordy a chance to catch up to the Racing Point, and it's advantage Ferrari in the Constructors' Championship battle.
Indeed. So that will put is that including Hercules' point and a half?
I have no idea.
Not to put you under math pressure.
Well, remember, Racing Point are 20 points behind Ferrari in the Division 5 Constructors' Championship, so it would need a hell of a result from Hercules and Van Base to have a tough one for that to change. But the Ferrari driver has the lead, and he's pulled out 1.3 seconds. We need Jock James to go over a timing beam. There we go. Jock James has gone to the hard tyre, but really, he's almost a lap down.
Evil Steel is spinning. He's hit Kana on the tank slapper. I don't know if there'll be... Kana is still going. Evil Steel is now dropped down into 12. Losing it on the farm, I believe, and almost having to be sent to the farmer's lassie.
Down the inside goes Mahoney on Dukes, making it up to P8. What a great start it's been for the Mercedes drivers. Who needs qualifying?
Yep.
Now look at the gap at the front. Ice Kid Man is really almost a cork in the bottle here, with Van Base pulled out 1.6 seconds already.
Those soft tyres really doing a good job. Mahoney and Hammersep have jumped up a fair amount. Although I was saying that Hammersep's now just got himself a 3-second penalty.
Well, it wouldn't be right if you didn't curse someone at some point.
Yes, exactly. I was going to say not too much credit for Mahoney. He was meant to play Escape from Tarkov with me today, so I do hope he ends his race. And,
here comes Dukes. You've got DRS, but Mahoney ahead of him. He's got DRS as well as they come down the hangar straight. Just up the road, you can see Daft having a look at Hummersep. Yep. To the inside of Stowe, and Hummersep, well, he likes to stay around the outside of that corner. He's not afraid, is he? Daft looking to the inside now, but not quite close enough as they come into Vale and Club. I do not know which way around those corners go. I do apologise.
Vale before Club.
Vale before Club. I knew that. It was fine. Totally
T for telemetry. Just remember, T for telemetry. There's a shout back to race week 1.
Indeed, yeah. So we're on board. We don't really want to be on board, but there's a good fight here for P6 to P9. Duke's having a sniff around behind the Mercedes, and Hercules right up behind Ice Kid Man, who, remember, doesn't have DRS because of this gap at the front. Ice Kid... Oh, contact! Is that wing damage for the Racing Point of Hercules? It is. You can see the end plate's gone. He was too late on the brakes, and he's run into the back of Ice Kid Man. And that is going to cost him so much time. You can see Nordy now looking to the inside of the Racing Point, and Nordy is through into P3.
Ooh.
What a bizarre incident. He was just too late. It wasn't even like he was trying to pass. He was just too late on the brakes.
Yep.
And, well...
that train from 6, 7, 8 of the Amenstein Racing boys of Hummersep, Daft and Mahoney.
I mean, if it wasn't advantage Ferrari before in the Constructors' Championship, it is now. And look at Dukes right up behind Mahoney. Yep. They might go 3 wide here because he's got to run on Daft. Mahoney going to the inside as they come down into Stowe. And Dukes is in there as well. Mahoney's on the grass on the inside. On board now with the Red Bull.
Cookie has taken over Hercules as well.
Yeah, Hercules pits for Racing Points. It's hard to tell where he is because the pit lane cuts a lot of corners out here.
Oh, Mahoney having a sniff now at Hummersep. Will the American fight back the German back in the old days, or will the German be able to take out the American?
Well, they are teammates. They've generally been well behaved as teammates, but Hummersep and Mahoney, what a hell of a race they're having. Made up so many places.
American team.
Oh, Hummersep's gone wide. Hummersep's gone wide, and he's lost out to Mahoney, and he's about to lose out to Daft as well. Is he? No, he's just hanging on. But the Haas is going to have a run. No, he's just had to bail out. Hummersep again hanging it out round the outside. As we come down into Brooklands, it's a really good race between these 5. Very much enjoying this.
Yes, indeed. No mercy shown there from Mahoney. Friendly fire, whatever you'd like to call it, in the American way.
How many references to the war can you make, Nugget, I wonder?
I don't know. It's Mahoney. It's the last week. They've been building up for the last 14 races.
There's only 12 races in the season.
Well, there we go.
Daft out of shape coming through Cops, and Dukes is all over the back of that Haas. Of course, it's still all to play for, remember, in the Teams Championship, I think. This is the last race between Racing Point and Red Bull. I don't know which of those 2 is ahead, but Hercules with a big error there that might cost Racing Point a lot of points in this race. I don't know if that one's already shown up or not. I've not really caught many of the races this weekend. But a great fight here in the midfield, and Nordy pits for McLaren.
As
6
does
laps
Duke.
only on the soft tyres.
As does Duke. We'll see Van on base building up almost a 4-second gap, 3.5 at least between him and Ice Kid Man. Showing some lovely pace. Hopefully that continues right to the end.
No
I'd
surprise
love
to see the
a
medium
Van on
tyres
base.
for both of these two. As we've got Kana right up behind Daft. Daft's really involved in all the action today, isn't he?
No.
But yeah, obviously Ice Kid Man taking the punishment of the slower tyres now, but he'll get the benefit for that at the end of the race. The question will be, will he be able to catch Van on base up?
Indeed. And at least this time the Ferrari won't have the problem of trying to figure out how to pit with 2 cars on the track, which cost T-Keg big last week in Canada.
Yeah, I mean, rumours have it that T-Keg isn't here because he's fallen out with Jeff, the engineer, so much that he now no longer has the Ferrari drive.
Yeah, exactly. That was shocking last week from Ferrari.
Ferrari strategy going wrong. Who would ever see that coming?
I know.
Oh, Kana running a bit wide there through Cops.
Viewing Kana during the race, what could go wrong?
Well, the field's spreading out a little bit now as those faster Mercs have come through. Although Hummersep's run wide again in Maggots and Beckett's. And we can see Daft right up alongside him. Hummersep doesn't have DRS. Oh no, it's going to be 3 wide down the hangar straight. And Hummersep loses out. Kana going around the outside.
Oh!
What a move from the Renault driver.
Excellent from Kana. I love it. He builds us up with so much hope. And like, he's going to do it. And then we know he's going to spin and crash. We just know it, chat.
That was peak Division 5 right there. And Hummersep losing out 2 places. Mahoney, who started at the back. I know some cars have pitted, but Mahoney's up to 4th place.
But he can't win. He can't win. I've already had to like send him messages of hatred.
Look, it's early days. Anything can happen in a race around Silverstone.
Indeed.
So now Hummersep with the chance to fight back here against Daft, but he's fallen back a little bit. And Hercules sets the fastest lap.
Yeah.
So it's now 4.1 the gap at the front. Van on base having a lovely time out front.
Having a sniff down Kana though, going into field.
He's through Woodcote. They're side by side coming into Cops, and that would be Eau Rouge level brave. Kana's going to stick it out round the outside. And that means they're going to continue to be side by side coming into Maggots and Beckett's. And now Kana's pulled out of that one. Daft has the position and is up to P5. This is a great scrap.
Hummersep sniffing about the Kana as well, thinking he might have a chance to pounce. He does have DRS. And
The Renault has DRS as well.
Yep.
It's enough to hold them off. Mahoney with a 3-second time penalty, just as I'm talking him up.
Good to see. Good to see.
Gap at the front now 4.3. So the interesting thing there is that Ice Kid Man isn't coming back at Van on base. Even though the soft tyres will be beginning to go off at this point. Although, having said that, they just found a couple of tenths there. Possibly a small mistake from the leader.
Kana looking at the Daft again round the douchebag straight.
In terms of the penalty situation, 6 seconds for Hummersep, 3 seconds for Roy Weller, and 3 seconds for Mahoney on lap 8 of this British Grand Prix. It's just eased off a little bit, hasn't it? Mahoney up 9 places here.
Does sadly have a 3-second penalty. I mean, gleefully has a 3-second penalty.
Cookie going well. I really don't want to curse the Cookie Monster either.
Yep, Cookie has struggled at times. Is a notorious flapper when it comes to being watched. So
it's hard to stream. It's hard to stream a division when you can't watch half of the field because watching them makes them crash.
Well, let's go on board with Cookie and see how he does.
Well, I think our most viewed driver of the whole race has been this man, Kana, who's having a really good run, actually, for Renault. And he's got DRS wide open here as he comes down the hangar straight. Goes to the inside as we come into Stowe. Daft's going to stick it out round the outside. Kana's on the grass.
And Hummersep sniffing.
Possibly shown a little bit too much respect there. And it's status quo for the time being. But a hell of a scrap between these three continues as they begin lap 9.
Straight. Yep, and a douchebag straight.
On board with Hummersep. Quite late on the brakes there, Hummersep. He's right up behind the Renault. And it's about whose soft tyres are in the best nick at this point. Evil Steel with a time penalty. Oh, and I can see Evil Steel off the roads. I could hear something in the background. And Evil Steel is quite a long way off the track through Maggott and Beckett. So that has gone very, very wrong somewhere for the Red Bull driver.
The only good news that Jock James is about 14 miles down the road from him. So not much worry of getting overtaken.
4.9 now the gap at the front. And Ice Kid Man, when he switches to the soft tyres, is going to have all the work to do. And remember that Van on Base will, when he pits for the medium tyre, he'll be on fresher tyres at that stage and will gain even more time on Ice Kid Man. It's looking very, very good for the Ferrari driver here.
As they go through Daft, Cannon, and Hummersett going through Maggots and Becks. Cannon right on the tail of Daft like a magnet.
Elsewhere, Hercules is caught up to Nordy, and that'll be a good fight.
Cannon going for the overtake though into Stowe.
Yeah, Connor makes a stick this time, does he? Daft sticking it out round the outside. We're on board with the Haas. Connor pits.
Oh, Connor pits.
And the Hummersett, right up behind the Haas. I tell you what, Silverstone loves an on-board.
Yeah, it really does.
So Connor into the pits for Renault. That will presumably be for the medium tyre.
We're catching right up on Daft though, as Ice Kid Man is now over 5 seconds behind Van on Base.
Meanwhile, Nordy and Hercules, who've both pitted, but Hercules, of course, had to change his wing and has to go a lot further. Well, in fact, only one lap further, because Nordy was early into the pits. So these two, Nordy possibly going for like a super undercut on Ice Kid Man and Van on Base here. He pitted on lap 6.
Yeah.
We're currently fighting with Hercules.
Yeah, we'll see how that pays off. If he's able to keep Hercules behind him, he'll be doing something right.
Also in the points is Dukes for the time being for Red Bull. Remember, Duke's the only driver still racing in the division without a point to his name. So we hope, without wanting to be biased in any way, we do hope that Dukes can get himself a point today.
Indeed. It would be good to see.
Van on Base is perfectly happy on these soft tyres, and he's still getting away from Ice Kid Man. Yeah. Started his 11th lap on them. Again, he's having a lovely time.
He was 8/10 slower that last lap, but still faster than Ice Kid Man on the mediums. So, you'd be expecting this to be the stage where they maybe switch around in the pace, but maybe Ice Kid Man just struggling a bit themselves for overall pace on those mediums. As Daft, Mahoney's in.
Mahoney pits, yeah. Medium tyres for the Mercedes.
Hummersett comes in, look at this. Mercedes timing it perfectly. Ferrari, take note. That is how you pit 2 cars in a lap.
Yeah, he's still having to wait, isn't he? He's still having to wait, and Hummersett gets away a little slowly. The old double stack doesn't work so well in F1 2020 because, I don't know, Codemasters things.
Where will he come out?
Mahoney just at the pit exit here.
Yeah.
And is out behind Hercules and Nordy. Hercules has cleared the McLaren while we're watching nothing happen in the pits. My bad.
Van on Base is coming round to the back marker of Jock James. So showing some real pace here. The time is just under 5 seconds, so holding it, not gaining. So I wouldn't be surprised to see Van on Base coming in shortly for those mediums. Saying which he comes in right now.
I've felt for Jock James a bit this season. He's had such a bad time. And he's kept turning up. And then he just turns up and he has another bad time.
Yeah, he picks up penalties upon penalties upon penalties and then gets them all removed.
So Van on Base pits from the soft tyre to go to the mediums. That gives Ice Kid Man the lead of the British Grand Prix. And remember that Ice Kid Man will now win the championship today because T-Keg not able to make it to this race. Which is, like we said, he had 1 hand and 4 fingers on the trophy anyway with a 24-point lead coming into the last race, Ice Kid Man. But you like at least a small element of jeopardy, don't you?
Exactly. We would have liked to have seen the championship won on the racetrack with the competitors all there. As Hummersett cruises past Kana here and cements that move coming out of Stowe, I believe.
Yes, Hummersett back ahead of the Renault and that fight continuing. Van on Base out of the pits just ahead of Roy Weller, and that was important. He didn't want to get stuck behind that McLaren, who's sort of not really racing him. But you can see the amount of time that
Oh,
Van
and
Base...
Hummersep's slung it. Hummersep is drifting Tokyo drift style. Doesn't do too much damage. Will hopefully get back on and going. Nobody near him, thankfully, but has lost that place to Kana.
Well, a bit of a disaster for a driver who's also got 6 seconds of time penalties against his name already. But yeah, you can see the gap that, speaking of time penalties, the prodigal son picks up another one.
Yes.
Yeah, the gap from Van Base to Hercules is now in the region of 10 seconds. So that's how much time Hercules lost. A, changing his wing and having to do half a lap with a broken wing, and B, stuck behind Norrie for a little while. So it's still advantage Ferrari in the Constructors' Championship.
Yep. Roy Weller tracking down Van Base, but Van Base sitting out, fresh tyres on those mediums. We'll just be waiting to measure up Ice Kid Man and Cookie when they come in.
Yeah, so Ice Kid Man and Cookie are on the alternative strategy now. They're trying to run those mediums as far as they possibly can. And, yeah, they'll keep going. I imagine they'll pick probably around lap 17. So not too far away. And then what you can expect is that they'll be quicker at the end of the race. And it'll be about can they come back at Van Base towards the end. As your time penalties, Roy Weller has 6 and he's sort of out of position. Is Weller at the moment because he's not pitted yet. Mahoney has 3, Dukes has 3, Hummersep now has 9, Evil Steel has 3, and Jock James has 3 as well. Hummersep doing his best impression of Dan Gilligan this week.
Well, it makes a change. Oh, speaking of which, Dan Gilligan, of course, not here with us on the last weekend.
So your net race leader continues to be Van Base, who is gaining time back on the front 2 on those fresh medium tyres. And of course, what Ice Kid Man and Cookie are hoping for here is a late safety car, which bunches that gap back up. They're on the soft tyres, and suddenly Van Base has it all to do.
Indeed. Although it will be interesting to see. We're getting a wee bit. Most of the cars at the moment are just a second or two spread out, so they are just going round. So it'll be interesting to see if there's any.
Oh, you say that.
One, and it's probably Jock James, isn't it?
It is Jock James.
Yeah.
He's keeping out of the way and letting his teammate through, making sure he didn't collect any cars in that section of the track, he says, with a tear rolling down his face. And,
yeah, definitely needs some stitches on those wins. But we'll see.
Ice Kid Man continues to lead.
Yeah, I was just about to say, Jock James not having the best final race of the season. Hopefully next season is nice and fresh for them when they come back and, you know, get a bit better. Avoidance of the penalties.
So it's reaching the time to talk about next season. I mean, you know, we're not privy to the division building process, but how high could you see some of these drivers going? If you just redid these divisions with the same drivers we've got, assuming everybody signed up, where would you put drivers like Ice Kid Man? Where would you put drivers like Hercules?
I think Ice Kid Man is far and beyond would have to go up a division. Division 5 wise, I think barring Ice Kid Man, you know what I mean, it's not his choice to be put in this division, you know, it's not a slight against him. He is where he has been put. He's just so dominant. So if you were to take Ice Kid Man out for me, I would say you're looking at both Ferraris, Hercules, Canurdi, you know, Hummersep when he doesn't crash and pick up penalties, all, you know, qualify similar, same race pace. I wouldn't change Division 5, bar Ice Kid Man, basically, and anybody, you know, that felt that they were always running last, if you know what I mean.
Yeah. Have you spotted chat? And hello to everybody in chat.
So T-Keg thought magically the race was 2 hours later for no reason.
Yeah, he thought the race started later than it did, and therefore isn't here. So that's a big F.
I mean, it's not like the race has ever been 10 p.m.
No, that's I mean, every race has started at the same time all season. So we'll call a spade and say that he's messed that one up.
Well, you know, by that logic, he should be getting ready for qualification.
I can see a Ferrari in the car park. He's just got it. Yeah. That gets what I think might even be his first time penalty of the season for corner cutting that isn't, you know, there was a separate incident at the start in Bahrain. Ice Kid Man pits from the lead. So our little dull phase of the race is over. And now we will see where Ice Kid Man comes out in relation to Van on base on those soft tyres. Nuggets going berserk in...
I had to do that. Sorry. There was somebody in the chat yelling, "Witness me," so I decided to time them out and ask them what they were saying.
They were witnessed.
They're back now. They're back now.
So Ice Kid Man pits Van on base, retakes the net lead of the British Grand Prix.
Yep.
And Hummersep picks up another time penalty for multiple warnings.
Indeed.
We got Hummersep's teammate Mahoney fighting Nordy in what is the closest fight on the track. So you can see the gap between Ice Kid Man and Van on base is 7 seconds. But it's can the Williams close that up and give us a grandstand finish here in Division 5, which I think we deserve.
Yes, and I think we will. Either what's happened, we've had a great season here with Division 5. They've really delivered mostly on the entertainment value. Although not to say some of the racing's not been entertaining, but I think they will forever be known for Belgium in particular.
Hercules to the inside of Roy Weller. That was getting a bit brave, but he's through. Roy Weller still on 15-lap old medium, same as Cookie, who continues to lead. But Cookie now pits for AlphaTauri. And the race for Cookie is probably with Hercules, Nordy, that sort of battle. He might come out P4 here, but fairly close to... Oh, and off the track. His Evil Steel and out of the race is Evil Steel. At turn 1, it's a safety car.
Oh.
Wellity. Cookie's in the pits while the safety car is deployed, and he might come out ahead of Ice Kid Man here.
Could as well.
Ice Kid Man is speed limited down the straight. Cookie's still in the pit lane. I think Ice Kid Man's going to get it. Yeah, he is. But everybody behind pits for the soft tyre. And the big loser from that is Van on base.
Yeah.
Who is now going to be on slightly older mediums, while everybody else behind him goes to the soft tyre.
Oh. Here we go then. Just when we think there wasn't any more action to come out, we get it. Evil Steel, thank you very much.
So Evil Steel retiring from this final race of the season.
Yep.
And we have a safety car. And it wouldn't have been the final Division 5 race as the sun comes out over Silverstone. It wouldn't have been the final race of Division 5 if we hadn't seen the safety car.
I was going to say, is that a half-dressed tea keg running across the track there to try and get in his Ferrari? It's 10:05, he's ready here to race.
So I think Duke's didn't pit. So Duke is on 10-lap old mediums. That sounds like a bad time.
Now, looking Kana up into 6th. If Kana could get a podium on the last race.
So we should talk about time penalties now, because of course the safety car bunches everybody up. And means that time penalties become a big factor. So Hummersep is at the back with 12 seconds. Mahoney has somehow ended up at the back again because
Jock James in the pits again.
Is Jock James in the pits to retire the car? I'm not sure.
I don't know what. I know he's on soft.
He's got the soft tyres. Well, you're at the back, you might as well.
Yeah, I mean, he might catch up to them before... No, he's not. He's already like a lap. The safety car's going to lap Jock James.
Almost, yeah. Well, at least he'll have warm tyres when he catches the pack up.
I keep seeing that it's has joined. I'm wondering if that's T-Keg violently trying to join the race.
I don't know what's going on there.
Let me in!
I mean, it gives off the impression of an attention seeker seeking attention, but, it is what it is.
But we're going to definitely have a race now between Van on base, Ice Kid Man, and the Cookie Monster. Don't forget who is there in third with fresh tyres on soft as well.
Oh, could Cookie win this race? Is Cookie just going to put this in the first wall he can find, trying to win this race?
Cookie's going to go round and see Evil Steel's car in the wall and go, whoop, 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 whoop. As he almost did there and is rapidly slowed down.
I think so. Jock James's issue is that I think the safety car will come in this lap, And I think it's a big ask for Jock James to actually catch up the back of this pack, because he's coming through Maggots and Beckett's right now, and the field are still at Luffield.
Yeah. This is avoided being lapped.
Man who'd lost all hope loses last additional bit of hope he didn't know he still had.
Yeah. I mean, technically, would that give the safety car more points and a better finish than Jock James has all season?
He's got 27 points as Jock, to be fair, but he's not done what you thought he would do and win the championship. And I can't really put that all on you because I had him down to finish second.
Yeah, but I also had Kana as well. Who I've then continued to curse every week.
So Hercules is in P7 here, which is, in theory, a net P4 because of those penalties for the drivers ahead. But, of course, he wants to be ahead of those cars as quickly as he possibly can because he would much rather set about fighting with the front three. He's been given a chance to get back into this race. And I don't think the safety car is coming in this lap, just based on how close Van on Base is to the back of it.
And I've not seen a notice, so...
So it looks like we are waiting for Jock James. So maybe that's it for the season. I joke, of course.
I just keep expecting to maybe see T-Keg hanging out the back of the safety car asking Van on Base to swap him. Tag me in, tag me in.
Well, to be fair, yeah, Jock James, he's going to have nice warm tyres on the restart. He has probably had to burn a lot of the best part of their life getting there.
Yeah. I mean, he's still half the track behind the rest of them.
But the best part about this is, he's got a chance of some points here, has Jock. Because Hummersep ahead of him's got 12 seconds of penalties.
He's also got, like, 38 seconds to make up.
Yeah, but if there's any because he'll catch them up on this lap, right? And if there's any incident ahead, Jock James could actually get points out of this situation, and this is why you never give up, I suppose.
So, are we talking about a possible Arif Belgium? No.
No, well, that was overtaking 3 cars under the safety car. That was a different thing.
Who was it? Oh, it was Daft, wasn't it? It was Daft that came from behind on Austria.
Yes.
From nowhere to the top 3.
Yeah, when he was basically 14th for the whole race.
Yep.
And then suddenly wound up on the podium by pitting for softs at the right time and not having time penalties when everybody else had them. So, yeah, it can be done.
Yeah,
but
it looks... around again, using up the life of Ice Kid Man's soft tyres. I mean, Van on Base will be happy with this. You know, every lap he goes round, it's one less fresh lap on the softs and one extra lap to get those mediums bedded in.
I think the safety car will come in this lap. Jock James is nearly there. Come on, Jock.
Oh, God. You know what's going to happen. He's going to get right behind Hummer.
Through cops.
He's going to get right behind Hummer and, yeah, send it here on the corner, isn't he?
Look at that. It's the back of the pack.
Yeah.
And the safety car, sure enough, is in this lap. And Division 5 will have a 7-lap shootout to the line.
Indeed. We're going to have a shooter McGavin of a time.
Well, Jock James's tyres will be on fire compared to these guys.
Yeah.
But Van on Base, getting ready to go.
Watching the cars in front doing some swerving to warm up their tyres, like, Jock, don't do that, Jock. Please don't do that.
So here we go. The British Grand Prix gets underway again. Bit of a moment there for Van on Base. And Ice Kid Man is right on the back of him, but runs wide. We are green again. And the Ferrari's defending to the inside already. Ice Kid Man is having a look, and Van on Base has lost the back of the car there, and Ice Kid Man leads for Williams. It didn't take long at all. And off at the back is Hummersep. And Hummersep is out.
Oh, no.
And Hummersep has gone off in turn 1, and he's clearly taken the front wheel off the car. And Hummersep retires from the final race of the season. Mahoney having a look at the back of Roy Weller as they come down the back straight here. There's fights going on further up the road. Hercules to the inside of Connor. An aggressive move there, getting it done.
Mahoney inside Roy Weller as well, makes that happen. Roy Weller coming back on, almost hits Jocko, who keeps it together and is just going to go speeding past here, I imagine.
We didn't get the safety car.
No.
We did get the championship leader, the champion-elect, in the lead of the British Grand Prix. And Ice Kid Man leads the field through Maggots and Beckett's with just over 6 laps to go. Safety car is deployed.
Guess we are getting a safety car indeed. So everybody gets to try this again.
What? Why?
Unless the same Hummersep's car is still there.
Why was that deployed?
I didn't think we could get a safety car this late.
Well, yeah, okay, we could get one this late lap-wise, but a full 30, 40 seconds after the incident is cleared up, we've deployed the safety car.
Let's see if we can spot Somerset's car, and let's keep an eye on Cookie, because whenever Cookie sniffs a crashed car, he tends to crash in response.
So remember, you're looking to the right-hand side of the track here, for where Somerset's car would be. I don't see a Mercedes over there.
No. I don't see anything.
Is this a safety car bug? We're just going to keep deploying these? That would be the most Division 5 end to the season.
And we have to restart, and TK gets in.
I think at this distance with the championship sorted, they would probably just call it, but...
No, restart. I'm ready to go for another 26 laps for you, Zord.
Well, we're back behind the safety car. Hopefully we don't have a full race restart.
It's 10 o'clock, guys. It's 10 o'clock. Time to start the race.
So there's the tyre situation. Dukes battling on 14-lap-old mediums, and let's face it, the safety car really helping him out. So there's the tyres if we need to restart because of a safety car. Soft for Ice Kid Man, medium for Van on Base, Dukes, Daft and Karner. Everyone else on the soft tyre.
This would be typical Division 5, like, to finish under a safety car on the last lap with no excitement.
Well, I mean, who knows? We might get...
Division 5, wouldn't it?
We might have a safety car bug here. So Somerset did crash. Somerset did crash at turn 1. And it was an incident that I assumed would generate a safety car. But the safety car... The incident then cleared. The race had continued for another 30 seconds or so. And then the safety car was deployed.
So what you're saying is we blame Somerset.
Surely Division 5 haven't managed to do this. They haven't managed to find this bug when the coordinators did. I don't even think they knew it was a thing around here.
No.
If anything is proven that the safety car is going to be turned off for Season 4, this is it. An FR Series redeeming. Join the resistance from XCOM streams. Excellent news. So we've got what will be 4 laps to go if the safety car came in this lap. Ice Kid Man, the champion-elect. Unless for some reason TK's allowed to join the restart and produces a miracle.
That'd be
I don't think he will be.
No. But the Cruzo's saying 90% distance is 23 laps. So going by the rule from Japan, there might need to be a 25% sprint.
But we will wait and see.
Yes.
It was never going to be anything if not entertaining. You will miss this division when it's gone, unless you were in it.
Yeah, and they could just hopefully keep this division together, but barring Ice Kid Man maybe.
And on the subject, do stick around at the end of the stream. We do have a little treat for you all at the very end of the stream tonight. So stay tuned if you can, because we've got to send out Division 5 with style, haven't we?
We do. A special little treat for you.
And no, it's not Nugget lap dancing for you.
Bow chicka wow wow.
Or maybe it is. I don't know.
Bow chicka wow wow to bagpipes, maybe. God, I'd love it if one of
Safety car in this lap.
Right, but watch it come out again next lap.
It will be a 4-lap sprint to the line. You can see them weaving down the hangar straight. It looks magnificent, doesn't it? As they all wheel left and right.
And knowing Division 5, there will be contact under the safety car.
Here we go then. Ice Kid Man, he's used to this, restarting races under the safety car. Remember, Van on Base is on older medium tyres, so it might be Cookie. Ice Kid Man's gone early. Yeah. We got a silly on-board camera. And now we've got this awful camera, and now we've got this awful camera. And Van on Base had a little bit of a moment there in Vale, and we are green again. Ice Kid Man leads them away for the last 4 laps of the Division 5 season. Hercules with a 3-second time penalty on the restart. And Ice Kid Man has got the jump, hasn't he?
has indeed. He has indeed. And Hartley's already right up to Daft, and side by side.
It was a close one, wasn't it? Oh, so much more speed. Daft was parked on the apex, and there was contact there between the pair. Guess who's in the points? Jock James, everybody.
Until he picks up another 3-second penalty.
Ice Kid Man!
3-second
time penalty.
I mean, like, if only it meant something.
But it might, because Cookie might be able to win this race if he can clear the Ferrari.
Come on, Cookie Monster. Num 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 your way to first.
But Ice Kid Man will probably be able to pull 3 seconds on Van on base at this rate. But he's got the 3-second time penalty. This one is not done.
And now that he's got one, it'd be very easy to pick up another one.
Safety car deployed.
Safety car.
Oh, safety car deployed. No reason. It's the same point of the track. It was when Ice Kid Man cleared the second sector. And it's a bug. So now I have to hand over to people who know more than me, because this might be a race restart into a 25% sprint race.
I will go to chat and see what's happening.
Hercules is now retired from the session.
Yeah.
Do we just do a 5-lapper?
Well, it would be 25%, so that would be
13 laps?
13 laps, yeah. So Jock James has said in chat, PC5, we red flag it. We need to redo somehow or take the stand-ins. He'll come back to us.
Okay, so we will have to wait. Drama from Division 5. You expected nothing less, did you? Did we do 5-lapper full wet Monaco just to finish this season?
We'll just get everybody in.
Get them in.
Just like everyone. Chat, join in.
The car's pulling over. And that is it. It's a red flag situation in the British Grand Prix. Who would have thought I would have ever got to use this? So now we wait. Now we wait.
Wow.
It's a red flag situation here in Division 5. I don't know what that means. Van on base, Daft and Carner are still running. Hopefully they'll stop. Mahoney's now left the session, but it's going to be either a restart or the race will be called early here. I just have to wait and see what the call is from the race directors, and then obviously there would be a re-lobby in that scenario. Apparently, to 23 laps, they needed to get to 23 laps to be able to call it. So they're short of being able to call it and taking the result, which means that we have to run a race restart.
I believe T-Keg won't get in because I believe the Japan rules were if you weren't driving at the time of the bug.
Hey, so maybe we can get King Bart back in.
Yeah, Tory, you about?
That's the timeline we want.
Yes. But I believe, so, for example, Evil Steel and Hummerset won't get to join the end because they were DNF'd come the bug.
So Daft and Carnot begin lap 25 in the background, and in fact, they are back to full racing speed.
See, we just get to look at that lovely view of the track overview.
I suppose I should leave the session as well, right?
Yeah.
And that might give them the idea that the situation... Presumably, they haven't checked Discord.
Just keep driving.
Might as well watch the race, I suppose, eh?
But we're not seeing it, that's the thing.
There it is, we can see it.
Like you're talking about a race that we can't see.
It's still a red flag situation, but Daft and Carner have gone for this.
And imagine if Carner yeeted it on the last corner.
Carner is now pulled over and is about to retire from the session. And if, I don't know, is this a battle royale? Has Daft won?
Daft.
I mean, my God, it's the last race of the season and we've had this.
Oh, Hammerstep saying if it's the start of lap 20, he gets back in. It's okay, Hammer, you'll just DNF again, mate. Let's see what's happening. So, It does look like a 25%.
Can't I continued again? Unless...
Just in case.
So, obviously, I don't know how we get the message other than sending Nugget to run on the track here.
I'm still trying to tackle T-Keg from trying to get into the car. T-Keg's here fighting with me trying to get in that Ferrari, saying, let me race, and let me race.
I'm not being funny, but like, I think
that's got to be the biggest meme of the season.
If this was me, I would be looking at this and thinking, well, I haven't led a race all season. It is a little weird that everybody else suddenly DNF'd. No more safety car bug.
Daft is like, I want to win a race for once in my life. I don't care if it's legit or not.
I suppose there's technically a Steam achievement to be earned.
Yeah, win an online race. Is that Daft across the finish line?
Well, that's Daft appearing as slow.
So, word coming in from the Mac Daddy himself, Thomas Macus, 25% race, free tyre choice.
Free tyre choice, okay.
Grid is TBC, working out now.
This one will run long, I'm afraid.
So, free tyre choice gives Van on base an opportunity again to get on the softs.
So, Daft.
Well, Daft, our winner! Wasting penalties means it goes to Kana!
But this will be a standing start, remember. As we continue to have a red flag situation here in Division 5.
Driver of the day, Mahoney.
Homicep will be delighted. We get to use the graphic. Extra. You thought you'd seen your last Division 5 run to the first corner, but no, we had one more in store for you.
Yeah.
And a Haas driver wins today. That's cute. So, I'm assuming there's a new lobby I'll need to join at some point.
Probably, yeah. Once I think they figure out what they're doing, I will keep you up to date as the Mac Daddy informs me. So yes, Division 5 living up to its reputation. Can't even finish a race.
It was always going to be this way, wasn't it?
It was. It's like, yeah, Ice Kid Man's won the race, but we're still going to be notorious.
But Donald's right that it wasn't Homocep's crash that caused the safety car. It was Evil Steel's original crash, because obviously the Homocep incident cleared up, and then once that had cleared up, as soon as Ice Kid Man cleared the end of the second sector, the safety car was deployed instantly. And then when we had to restart again, same problem.
Yes. So I presume Homocep will be back in.
Well, Jock James is showing us in the lobby, so we'll join that and hope that I'm in the right place.
Right, and I will join you and hope that I'm in the right place. Division
5 delivers again. Are you ready for a sprint race in Formula 1?
30 more laps, yeah? Here's the thing. Will the softs go 13 laps?
Oh, not really. If you're taking free tyre choice, you've got to go medium here. But you've got to pit. The rules of it will be, you've got to pit.
Nah, you can't have to pit on a 25%er.
I'm assuming they're going to set the weather to be the same, right?
No, surely.
Yeah, no. Can we ping someone and tell them? Surely we want to set the weather to be the same, because if this rains, it's going to be even worse. I know it's Britain, but you know it doesn't rain that quickly. So they have to pit in a 25% race.
Do they though?
No, they have to by the rules of the game. They must pit.
But do they know that? This is what I'm saying.
Well, the game will give them a strategy at the start. The game will give them a strategy. So weather's going to be the same. Good. Although it is showing as dynamic still on my screen. So I think we just need to get that changed. It was pretty much clear dry, wasn't it? So we can get that just changed to clear dry and go again.
No safety car, virtual safety car. Tom Mack has just informed me.
So we're turning the safety car off.
No virtual or safety car.
Okay.
So weather is clear. No practice, no qualifying. Custom grid. Safety car is still on, but I presume that will be going off next.
Burned Mylander in shambles, indeed. Safety car has been turned off. Weather has been set to clear dry. There's no qualifying, no race, and somebody has to do a custom grid.
Right, so I'm just gonna make sure they are away. I can't ping Div 5.
No, I think one of the coordinators will have to do it, I'm afraid.
Yeah. Probably one of the coordinators. Can one of the coordinators make sure that Div 5 get a ping to let them know that they need to pit, just in case there's some drivers that don't know that?
I think they'll be aware, but it's just worth checking that they all know they have to make a pit stop here.
Yeah, just so there's no silliness after that. Coral, I'm looking at you. You're in chat.
Honestly, I thought the moment in the Division 2 race where Chamblizi got wiped out by the safety car teleporting backwards on the track was peak FRS this season. But
yeah,
alas,
definitely is.
We get an additional Division 5.
Laps.
Wait, hold the phone. We're having a Division 5 race with the safety car turned off. Are we sure?
Yeah.
Are we sure we know what we're doing?
Again. We don't want it to happen again. Because it would. We'd race and Hummersep would yeet it into a corner and cause it all over again.
No, but you're not listening to what I'm saying. This is Division 5 and you just turned the safety car off. That doesn't sound safe to me.
Yeah. This is going to be interesting. I've never seen so are they going to have to just cold start off the grid again?
Off the line, yes. The full formation lap, warm up, and off we go.
Right. The formation laps. Right. Let's remember the formation lap this time.
We are missing. How many drivers are in 9? So we're missing a few drivers. I hope all the drivers are going to take the restart.
Well, Evil Steel can't.
Evil Steel's out of the race.
Duke says he can't stay on for another 13 laps.
Okay, so Duke's is now out of the race.
Yep. Ice Command there's Cookies there, Van's there, Weller's there. Canurdy's missing.
Yeah, Nerdy's missing.
Canurdy's missing.
So we've got a 9-car field. If Dukes is dropping out, we would expect an 11-car field? Because Hummersep's back in, right?
Yes. So we're down 2. So 10 total, I believe.
Yeah, so we would expect one more driver. We've got both adversaries. We're missing... Oh, Nody's here now. We haven't got Hummersep either, right? Hummersep's not shown in the lobby? Hummersep doesn't get the race because of when the bug came out. Okay, so Hummersep was out.
No, Hummersep didn't. He crashed after the first safety car.
He did, yes.
The second. So surely he's back in because the first safety car is the start of the glitch.
I don't know. It's not my decision. Dukes, right. I'm gutted for you that this situation means that you don't get to fight for your first points of the season. I'm heartbroken for you.
Yes.
Really, really devastated to hear that. What a day. Silverstone's a heartbreaker, isn't it? But what a situation. And I thought the Division 6 race was silly.
Yes. So who are we waiting? Is Kana here? Yep, Kana's here.
So the first safety car is not assumed as bugged. So what happened is that Hummersep crashed before the next safety car came out.
Right.
So we've lost Homicep. Dukes will now essentially be classified as 11th place.
Yes.
And there's 10 drivers, and if they all make it to the end, they're all going to score points.
So is it not 11?
I think I make it 10. There was 13 in the race. We've lost Evil Steel, we've lost Dukes, and we've lost Homicep.
Oh, right, yes, we're down. Yeah.
So I think with these 10, we're now ready to race.
Well, once they set them all up.
And it's free tyre choice. They'll have to pit.
Yes. So do you go medium soft or soft medium?
Good question. Very well presented.
Or do you just go like mediums for one lap and then pit and go straight on the softs?
We're ready and up.
Here we
And
go.
remember, they must pit because of 25% distance rate. There's going to be 10 drivers. Have we got 10 drivers ready?
No, we class as 2.
No, we don't.
All right.
No, when we're spectators,
Right.
we don't class as being a driver. So there's 10
That's
drivers
fair.
who will race.
Right.
Daft is counting that as a win. I'm all right with it.
Oh, wow. Right, here
Hey,
we go.
Daft,
So,
the ultimate power move is to go and win this one as well.
yeah,
I won 2 races in one night.
exactly. Double the points for Haas.
Well,
Here's me planning on an early night and going to watch Super Troopers 1 and 2.
with apologies to anyone who was waiting for this to finish, we go again.
I mean, at least T-Keg's getting to see the end of his championship.
Yes.
T-Keg, that's never going to get old, mate.
Well, I think there was a red flag in the Division 2 race as well.
Right, here we go.
It's
Formation
sunny,
lap.
it's Silverstone, and
There's
we
no
are
safety
ready
car.
to go racing once again. Safety car is turned off.
Yep.
The red flag situation is over. These guys will be taking to the field. There'll be 10 of them lining up. Can we end up with less finishers than Belgium?
Auf Wiedersehen, Hammersep is out and he will enjoy watching. Hammersep, you will enjoy watching the VOD tomorrow. We were nice to you all race.
It's going to be a 13-lap shootout
Yep.
with a pit stop.
With a pit stop. Ferrari can't balls up the stacking, neither can Mercedes. We're apparently still waiting for players.
Session starts in 27 seconds, according to this. So we're setting strategies. Jock James is in the points. What a day it's been for Jock
Imagine if
James.
Jock James wins it after all the abuse that we gave him. So I take it time penalties are wiped.
Time penalties are wiped, yeah. As far as I can tell, time penalties are wiped.
I presume they'll start on track based on how they were post time penalties.
So go cutting your corners again, as far as I'm concerned.
Yeah. So those people, yeah. So I presume that their grid is going to be based on where they would have finished had that been the last race.
Ice Kid Man on pole from Van on base.
Yeah.
Cookie, Daft in 4th. Hercules, Carner,
Cannon,
Nordy,
Come on,
Mahoney, Roy Weller, and Jock James. And we've got an even split. 5 drivers have gone to the medium tyre. 5 drivers have gone to the soft tyre.
Yeah.
And we've got a
Including
formation
Ice Kid
lap.
Man. Now, if I'm Ice Kid Man, seeing how poor he was on the mediums and Van on base how fast he was on the softs, I don't think I would have started on the mediums.
Just think how much of a big winner Hummersep would have been, having had 12 seconds of penalties wiped, had he have not stuck it in the wall.
Yes. But he did and caused this whole issue.
But he did
So
stick it in the
shame.
wall. So
Shame on Hummersep. He caused this.
So
Well,
again, this is interesting that Ice Kid Man has gone to the
was
medium tyre when he got done on the start last time against Van on
exactly.
base. And this time he doesn't have a safety car
No.
to give him the advantage back, but he has less laps to lose. You're going to be pitting like lap 5 here if you're on the softs.
You're not just go. Oh, because the degradation.
The degradation will be like
yeah.
4 times what it would be
Yeah.
on a full distance race, right? So the tyre deg's going to be crazy.
Right, I'm
Yeah,
going to call it. So
At the start of Maggots and Beckett's, you're going to have fresh tyres, and by the end of Maggots and Beckett's, you're going to have no
Yeah.
tyre life left.
exactly, I'm going to say who's going to win it at this point. Who we're calling the winner?
It's hard to call a Division 5 race. Who's that at the
Come on.
back?
Jock.
Jock, why are you so far back?
Miles behind everyone. Oh,
Did he spin?
I don't know. He's just to be fair, Jock's like got car evasion. You know, he's spent this whole race about 10 seconds behind the nearest car. He's maybe a bit shy getting close to them again.
Or maybe he does just want everyone's tyres to go cold on the line. We've got
you know what?
10th half an hour.
Kana for the win, Zod. I'm calling it. Give me a shout. Who are you calling?
Van on base again, round 2. Let's do it. 13 laps to go.
Yeah.
And we will get the British Grand Prix underway again after the red flag situation. It is lights out and away we go for what we hope is the final time in Season 3. And it's a good start for Ice Kid Man. Carter's going up on the inside. We've got Hercules in there as well. It's been a poor start for Daft and the Haas. And Hercules down the inside at turn 1 is up into 3rd and is back on the podium.
Connor's into 4th.
Connor is flying on the soft tyres.
Come on, Connor.
Cookie's on the inside. The 2 McLarens are now at the back. And there's a bit of contact there between Connor and Cookie. Ice Kid Man leads them away and he got the jump this time. Connor is up into 4th place. And he's side by side with Cookie. Oh. Cookie's holding this out.
Yeah.
And now Daft's getting involved. Sector 2 yellow
flag.
flag. Oh, McLaren's off. Nordy's off the track.
Safety car!
We can't have one. We're safe.
Oh no! Right, we've got to watch Cookie whenever he comes round that end of the track, Lord, because we know what Cookie's like. As soon as he smells a crashed car, he does like to eat it. But Canute's back on track.
Canute's running again, and Cookie got the place ahead of Connor, who's on for his best finish this season. And couldn't notice round again at the back. He's trying to get us a safety car. He really is. You would suggest that Nordy might just pull that into the pit lane now and suggest there's little to no point continuing with this one.
No, you've got to leave it out there and watch Cookie yeet it just as he goes past.
I mean, if he goes to the end, he gets a point. Roy Weller pits and gets a 5-second penalty. What a disaster for McLaren.
What is happening here, guys? Come on, this is... Jock James up into 5th, though, has taken over Hercules on the mediums.
I think there's a timing tower issue. I think it's a timing... Oh, and off and out! Is Daft. What? No, Daft's in the gravel trap at turn 1. He's recovered to the circuit, but he's got what I think is... This camera's awful, come on. But Daft has gone off at turn 1.
Cookie
and yeah, there's definite wing damage on that Haas.
Oh no, we don't know. Cookie's 4th, Hercules is 3rd.
It's Ice Kid Man from Van on base, from Hercules, from Cookie and Carney, your top 5. And I mean, nearly half of this field has eliminated itself already. Nordy makes it back to the pits now. Van on base looking very, very racy here. And the time penalty at the top's for Roy Weller, not for Ice Kid Man. But here comes the Ferrari as we go into Maggots. Right up behind the champion-elect, Ice Kid Man. I mean, I'm trying to elect him the champion. Maybe we'll never get there.
No, just another 10 laps to go.
Jock James has passed Mahoney and is running in P6, which is an honestly... Oh, into the pits. Comes Hercules.
Going for the
on lap 2.
Going for the mediums then, yeah.
And Van on base with the fastest lap of the race. How early is that? I feel so early for Hercules.
Lap 3.
But it's lap 2. This is lap 3.
Well, I suppose, yeah.
Was there contact somewhere? Is it wing damage for Hercules?
Maybe it's just want to go to the mediums and get it done with.
I didn't see a nose change there. Well, Hercules pits. He's looking for the biggest undercut you've ever seen. An Ice Kid Man continuing to defend from Van on base. They've got a big gap to Cookie now, who's struggling a bit on the medium tyres.
Oh, Van on base got a look down the inside here. Oh, decided not to.
Oh,
Ice Kid Man slide. Oh,
big moment there. Van on base down the inside. They're side by side. And Van on base takes the lead as they go into Cops. But Ice Kid Man's fighting back. They're going to be side by side. Are they coming into Maggots? No, the Williams just decides discretion is the better part of valor for the time being. And the Ferrari leads once again at Silverstone. But DRS wide open for Ice Kid Man as they come down the hangar straight and the Williams to the outside. He's going to have the straight line speed advantage and Ice Kid Man takes the lead back as they go into Stowe. What a race up front.
Indeed, Cookie just a wee bit behind, a couple of seconds behind Kana, trying to hunt down Cookie to steal that podium position, which I believe would be Kana's second podium of the season.
Absolutely. No, Kana scored points only, I think, in Belgium when we had the other crazy race.
Yeah. First podium Kana in the last race of the season, trying to chase down the Cookie monster. But we've got Van on base now. Ice Kid Man with a bit of a lock up there.
Yeah, these two are going hammer and tongs at this. And remember how quickly those soft tyres will be degrading, for Van on base. But Ice Kid Man, look at him straight to the inside to avoid that toe. DRS is wide open. Van on base is thinking about this. He's not quite going to be close enough. As
But you never know. That was a big cut. That was a big cut from Van on base. Probably a warning at least.
Oh, and the moment this time for the Ferrari driver coming out of Luffield.
Oh, Cookie spun it! And he's off!
Kana's on the podium!
Kana's on the podium! Jock James is into fourth.
How on earth is Jock James fourth? This is peak Division 5.
Cookie has lost it. Going into turn whatever, I can't remember keeping up. And I'm just going to sit on board with Kana and totally not curse him.
Ice Kid Man is weaving so much to avoid the toe. Not Jock James. Van on base throwing the car into Stowe. But he's had a couple of what I think will be track limits penalties now. He needs to be careful here, the Ferrari driver. If he picks up a penalty, this one is kind of done.
Indeed. He's going to have to rely on just getting those tyres down. You don't want it to go this early. As they come round into douchebag straight into...
Now, Kana has got a great opportunity for a podium here. Cookie picks from the medium tyre. Presumably there might be wing damage on that AlphaTauri. But up at the front...
What were you saying about Kana?
Well, again, Ice Kid Man going right to the inside to defend from the toe. Van on base just isn't quite able to get close enough. Hercules with the fastest lap of the race.
Well,
Don't remember.
Another cut, Van on base, 3-second penalty.
There it is. He gets the time penalty.
Yeah.
Hercules on the undercut here. He's quite far back at the moment. Not like a poor call, but look at this. Van on base with his 3-second time penalty now right behind Ice Kid Man as they come through Copse and into Maggots and Beckett's again. Lap 5 of 13 in this restarted British Grand Prix because of the safety car bug.
Yeah. I'm looking at Hercules would be about 28, 29 seconds, so, you know, he would be close.
It's just his tyres are going to be so much older at the end, right?
Yes. Van on base having another look. It'll be interesting to see how long it takes him to blink and pit. Not this lap.
He's going to go for a state. He went long the first time on the soft tyres, didn't he, Van on base? He was quite comfortable to run those tyres a long way. But again, Ice Kid Man has got massively the upper hand here. Massively so.
Definitely. And if Kana can pick up a few seconds here, second place for Kana is not an unrealistic expectation here.
I mean, on that subject, it's not impossible that Jock James finishes on the podium here.
I know. So, hopefully some big points coming for Kana.
Hark has good pace, but he is catching up to Mahoney quite quickly. But remember, Mahoney will be lapping slower than the leaders. Up at the front, Van on base looking to the outside again, but Ice Kid Man's just got it covered right now.
Hark about 27 seconds behind it.
Oh, he's going to the outside. He'll surely not get around there. He'll not have the grip to get around there. And the Williams continues to fend off the Ferrari.
Yep. Hercules about 27 seconds behind the leaders now. So I'm not sure what the estimated time for a pit is. I'm sure it was maybe...
Surely not side by side into Maggots and Beckett. Surely not. Van on base takes the lead.
What a jump.
I tell you what, Ice Kid Man got out of town there, didn't he? He was having none of that.
Oh, Van on balls of steel.
Down the back straight. The Williams has got the speed here. These two are going hammer and tongs at this. Ice Kid Man sweeps around the outside and back into the lead of the British Grand Prix.
Hercules has gained...
Oh, they both pit?
Yep. Hercules has gained...
Oh, and Ice Kid Man gets a 5-second penalty for speeding in the pit lane. Firstly, why is he pitted on the medium tyre? Secondly, It's advantage Vanovich.
Well.
Corner gets a pit lane speed and penalty.
Speed and Kana, no. Right, Hercules, where are you?
But now Hercules is in a great position.
I mean, so's the boys Mahoney and Jock.
They've all pitted. They've all boxed, but they've Jock pitted from the medium tyres as well.
Right, they're just getting out now. Hercules, if he throttles this, he could get them coming slow.
It's going to be... Roy Weller takes the lead of the British Grand Prix.
Hercules has got them. Hercules with the undercut of the decade.
No, he doesn't. He was a lap down. Yeah,
He
Hercules leads. And it's just ahead, and the cars behind have time penalties now. I can go to the inside.
Contact.
There's contact between the pair.
There's nothing on, there's nothing to race here for, but it's brilliant.
It's unbelievable stuff. And Ice Kid Man takes the lead again from Hercules.
Yeah.
But again, the 5-second time penalty for speeding in the pit lane.
Indeed.
Hangs over his head. He's on the soft tyres. Hercules is on, well, 3-lap old mediums. I don't know how that old they are in relative terms. But what a race this is.
Let's have a look as well. Kana is 1 second behind Roy Weller, trying to fight back, maybe getting a podium. Canudi picking up 3 seconds as well.
But remember, Van Base has got 3 seconds of penalties. I'll bring the penalties up for you. Ice Kid Man's got 5. Hercules doesn't have any.
No.
But is on the older tyres. And neither does Jock.
But Jock has to pit, I believe.
Jock did pit. Jock has
Yeah.
pitted. The Jock James podium is not out of the question.
Everyone has pitted now, so...
Yeah, Roy Weller pits from P4. Ice Kid Man is pulling a bit of a gap here, but he needs 5 seconds to make this work.
Well, that's Canudi coming in from P10.
That was Nodi into the pits, was it?
Yeah.
So Roy Weller's...
Everyone's pitted.
Oh, yeah, so Roy Weller's on soft, but he's gone 4 laps on the soft. He's going to have to pit again, surely. And Cookie...
Yeah, he's also got seconds.
Has got past Mahoney in the final part of the lap.
Oh, there we go. Come on, Kana, catch him up.
There's a big gap between the front 3 and the rest now. They've got the whole of the Wellington straight. And Hercules is dropping back from Ice Kid Man, and that is the last thing Van Base needs. Because Van Base needs to be within 2 seconds of Ice Kid Man, because he's got a 3-second time penalty of his own. It's mental maths time.
And Zord, what does this do for the Constructors' Championship?
I have no idea. So Ferrari are 20 points ahead of Racing Point, but I believe Racing Point will score 1.5 points from this race. Up at the front.
What would that do?
Good question. I think Ferrari would still win it at this point. But Ice Kid Man is stretching the gap now on the soft tyres, and Jock James gets...
Jock James has got a penalty.
A 3-second time penalty. Of course he does.
Yeah. So that basically puts Cookie ahead of him. Kana's chasing down Roy Weller still, trying to still steal a bit of a third place dream.
Roy Weller has to go a long way on those soft tyres.
Yep. As does Ice Kid Man. Ice Kid Man pitted very early.
It was early for the soft tyres, wasn't it? So those things will not be comfortable towards the end of this race. Meanwhile, Van Base needs to clear Hercules in a hurry if he wants to win this race, because the gap at the front is now not enough for him to surpass Ice Kid Man at the end. There's a 2.2 second delta, and the Ferrari needs to do something here if he wants to win. Oh, and he's gone wide in Luffield, and Hercules, I think, was fine. I think there was a little lock up there, but Van Base lost time through that corner.
Yep. Kana and Roy Weller are dueling it out.
And we'll commend Daft, we'll commend Nordy as well, who are both running around at the back, but who are completing this race because it's, it's 2 points and 1 point for the team's championship for their teams, right? So
Indeed.
A tip of the hat to them, because it would be very easy to just stick that car in the pit lane and say, well, there's no chance of a safety car, there's no point. Hercules coming back at Ice Kid Man now.
Yeah,
I don't know, do Racing Point need these points? Because both Red Bulls are out of this. And Racing Point would score 1.5 points here.
Yeah. I'm not sure how close the overall Constructor Championship was.
I don't know how the Team Championship was. We've got 4 laps to go here.
4 laps.
Roy Weller still gamely hanging on in 4th place with Kana right behind him.
Although Khan is sniffing about through Magus and Bex.
Have a look at that point. Van on base is right up behind Hercules. He's not quite close enough again, is he? But at the moment, Hercules still in position to win this race by staying within 5 seconds of Ice Kid Man. That's all he needs to do.
And of course, you know, we've got Cookie here picking up some good points, Mahoney as well. Unfortunately, he's kind of lost a few positions out of that. He started off pretty well.
You remember that thing where I said earlier in the season, whatever happened in a race, T-Keg always ended up 4th. I feel like Mahoney always ends up 8th.
Yeah.
Whatever happens, Mahoney just comes across the line in 8th, and you go, oh, well, Mahoney was 8th.
You always think he does well, or he always seems to do well, and then he loses at either penalties or incidents.
And on base, he's having a look at Hercules. Oh, he had a little dive. It wasn't quite there, was it?
Well, it wasn't a fully committed dive.
But Hercules is pegging that gap at the front and holding Van on base behind him, which is exactly what the racing point driver needs to do here. And Van on base is struggling a bit, coming out of Vale.
Yep. Kana right up behind Roy Weller now within 0.2.
I'm not being funny. Roy Weller, 7 laps on those soft tyres in a 25% race. They're going to be screaming out, but here comes Kana now. Oh, and contact there. Kana's through. There's no wing damage, thankfully. But there was a bit of a touch there between the pair of them. Roy Weller looking back to the inside. He's got no tyres left to really make the move stick. And Kana is through. Meanwhile, Van on base not able to get that move done. And it looks like the Renault is up into 4th place. But Roy Weller will have the DRS now. Kana goes to the inside. Is Roy Weller going to have enough tyres when he gets to the corner? He goes round the outside. Is that going to hang about? He's going to try it. He's off the track. And Kana now sweeps around the outside at Luffield. But is a little deep. And Roy Weller comes back at him. Kana's on the gravel. And Roy Weller's back through. But they're side by side as they come down the old start-finish straight. And this is into Compton. I'm going to close my eyes. Oh, there's contact there.
Oh, there's a bit of contact.
And Cookie's looking at this.
Jock James more like, and Jock James is the one right behind.
Van on base is right up behind Hercules as well, runs wide. I'm trying to keep an eye on 2 things at once here. It's very, very difficult. It's peak Division 5. Kana's had a poor run through Maggots and Beckett's. And Jock James is in the frame now. But remember that Jock James has only 3 seconds of time penalties. And these guys have 5. So Jock James on for a net P4 or P5 here. Because I think Cookie might leapfrog the lot of them at the end.
Yeah. Well, depending if the Cookie Monster keeps it nice and close. But yeah, we're going to see Caramy have another go at Roy Weller as Van on base is right up the back of Hercules. But Hercules doing enough to keep Van on base behind and his needed gap to Ice Kid Man.
He's managing it well, Hercules. He's got 2 laps to go. Are we ready for Division 5 to be over?
Well.
Cookie has a bit of a moment there. Jock James, sorry. I always expect Cookie to be the lead. I don't mean that offensively to Jock James, but I always expect Cookie to be the lead AlphaTauri. Because Jock's had such a bad time this season.
Yeah, I always expect Jock to be at the back as well, don't worry.
So.
Oh, Van on base has sent it! He sent it into the wall!
Van on base is in the wall, and now it's a fight for a podium. Theoretically, there's big wing damage on the Ferrari. Look at that. That's double red wing damage that'll be. Van on base essentially out of this race. He's rejoining the track as Roy Weller comes down. This is not looking good. He's not ghosted anymore. We've had to hit the brakes. Weller drives round him, and Roy Weller is on the podium, but he has a time penalty.
So we showed time penalties for the chat. I'm not sure if we got up.
Jock James is through.
Cookie is just sniffing about an accident. We know what Cookie does whenever he smells a crash. He normally turns it himself.
Oh, Kana's on the inside on the grass.
And Kana's let the position back to Van on base. Oh, Division 5.
Van on base doesn't pit with the wing damage. Does not pit. Kana is somehow down to 7th. Jock James is going through on Roy Weller. Kana gets a time penalty now. Side by side turn 1. Roy Weller sticks to that. How is Roy Weller still going on these tyres?
Cookie is second here. Third. Cookie is third with time penalties.
I mean, if you ever wanted an end to a Division 5 season, this is it. Nordy pits, I think, to go for the massive slap.
Slapper, but he holds it. And what would have been typical kind of bottling it fashion, but he
Also,
held it.
look how far ahead these two are up the front.
Roy Weller has red fuel. Roy Weller, does he have enough fuel to get to the finish line?
He might not have enough fuel to make the line. Well, add another spice to this overly spicy mix.
Has Roy Weller done another Bahrain here and not filled the car enough?
Carner is through on Van on base, who's got barely any front wing as he comes into Copse. And they're fighting up ahead. Roy Weller is still somehow hanging on. But meanwhile, coming out of the final corner, Ice Kid Man is the Division 5 champion. But Hercules wins the British Grand Prix thanks to the penalties.
Ice Kid Man in the 5 seconds and we'll see Cookie Monster hunting down a third place here.
Cookie's got to stay within range of these guys. If he falls out of 3 seconds to Jock James will have the most unlikely podium. Roy Weller comes across the line in third, but he will get 5 seconds. Jock James is now third. Cookie's across the line, and Cookie's on the podium by 3/10 from his teammate. Carner had 11 seconds of penalties in the end. And Mahoney ends up 6th. Van on base 7th.
Wow.
But your Division 5 champion is Ice Kid Man. It was never in doubt today. There's a yellow flag as a McLaren's off the track. Ice Kid Man is your champion today. Hercules, though, wins the race with Van on base only 7th. There was a 20-point lead, but Hercules scored 1.5 in the constructors. Van on base only gets 4. So it's
even without that, I think Hercules without the 1.5 has made the 20-point difference, is he not?
Are racing points the constructors champions here?
I'll defer to your maths, Harringzord. You tell us.
I ultimately don't know how the rules work. I think Racing Point might be the constructors champions of Division 5, but I, honest to God, have no idea.
Yes, and if possible, FRS. But Cookie with the podium position out of nowhere. Jock James coming from, well, last before safety car to 4th. We still have donuts to do. We still got the Zord special finale. We're still not finished here, guys.
Hercules wins today. Remember, he lost his front wing in the first race, and then came back, and then pitted. So he took the undercut of the century.
Oh, indeed.
And then everybody else sped in the pit lane, and then he won.
Oh, wow. What a race from Hercules. What a race indeed.
And if we were ever going to send Division 5 away in style, that was it.
I mean, and good news, it is now 10 o'clock, people, so T-Keg is ready to race.
Hercules the winner today from Ice Kid Man, Cookie and Jock James. 3rd and 4th for Alpha Tauri. That might be as many points today as they've got all season, Nelly. What a great race of notes. Remember where Jock James was in the original race as well. Yeah. He would have taken 4th. Roy Weller 5th in the end. What a result for him. Mahoney 6th. Fan on base 7th in the end. Carner gets his 2nd point score of the season in 8th. Daft comes home 9th for Haas. And Nordy gets a point. Take a deep breath. It was all worth it.
That was something else.
Driver of the day. I need your driver of the day, Nugget.
Oh, right. My view. What are we counting? Pre-safety car glitch or post-safety car glitch?
I just want your driver of this very long day.
Jock James, because only he would go from last to 4th in this bullshit scenario.
I want to give a genuine shout out to Roy Weller, actually, because that's how we went that far on soft tyres. I have no idea. But I think it's got to be Hercules, hasn't it? But then he took his wing off in the first race.
I mean, for the
stupid late Reagan move.
Hercules in that phenomenal undercut, yeah.
Now, they can stick around for donuts if they want, much as we did in the Division 6 race before. And if I needed a way to get over the Division 6 race today, I guess that was it. I needed Division 5 to deliver, and they've done it, and I'm happy with them.
Yes. Unfortunately, yes. Well, they always were. Even in a race that meant nothing, they still managed to deliver.
I am tired. I am emotional. What happened in Div 6? Well, unfortunately, I lost the championship that I'd led the whole season by 1 point because we dropped 2 results. And there was an Alfa Romeo, unfortunately, out of control in the middle of the road.
That's the Zord. Yes, that's what Harringzord.
If anyone's ever watched me play Blood Bowl, I rolled a snake. I rolled a critical snake at a key moment in a situation that really, unfortunately, wasn't my fault. But it happens in racing, right? It happens. And that race made up for it. That was a great race today.
I mean, if you want the total non-biased review of Harringzord's race, the Red Bulls bribed an Alpha Tauri to take Harringzord out to help them win.
Could Nugget's opinions are his own and are not necessarily endorsed by this channel.
Where have they ever been?
Nick, the worst part about it was I'd actually done everything I needed to do. I was ahead of my rival and I had the race in control, and it was just an unfortunate incident that
here we go for donuts.
That cost us. But we are going to go quickly in for donuts.
Before I believe you have a surprise for them, Mr. Zord.
Well, we've just got a video to send the season off in style. Nothing more than that. But it's been, and what I would say as well, like not quite with a tear in my eye, but what pleasure this season's been. How good has this been on a Sunday night?
Well, personally, having very little knowledge of Formula One, I think you've done an outstanding job to carry the pair of us.
There's just been some of the, we've had our quiet races, but some of these races, I mean, that little shootout at the end, we're just beside ourselves trying to work out what is going on in half of these races. And just when you think someone's got it in the bag, Ice Kid Man in Belgium comes to mind, where all of his championship rivals have crashed out of the race in the first 10 laps, and he's leading the race from Jock James, and Jock James has got a time penalty, so the lead is 7 seconds, and Ice Kid Man puts it in the wall at Eau Rouge and retires. And you're just like, could this season get any more Division 5? Roy Weller has helped himself to a Mercedes.
For some reason, I'm in a McLaren.
And we'll get them out for their final donuts as we sign off here at the end of this season. Nugget's going to go out and do some donuts with the lads as well.
I didn't even realise this was a thing.
Off you go. Get out there. We'll see a Nugget donut. You know how to do a donut, right? You're good at spinning.
Harif, how'd you drive a keyboard?
What buttons go on a keyboard?
Yeah, what buttons?
Keyboard, if you just type the word donut repeatedly on the keyboard, does it keep spinning?
Like I'm stuck on the start line. I don't know what go is.
We've got cars going the wrong way. We've got Ice Kid Man, who of course is the Division 5 champion. We'll bring the graphic up. And to be fair, he's been the class of the division. Once King Bar promoted up, once Tory promoted up. And Ice Kid Man and Tory were a close match, to be fair. But Ice Kid Man has... It's not been by miles, but he's ultimately had the edge on everyone else in the division and has thoroughly deserved this championship. So congratulations to him. Nugget has crashed straight into him at high speed. And now they've got the rule of Rocket League where they're stuck against each other. Hercules is now in a Renault and on the start line and producing some donuts of his own. He's had a great season as well. I think he finishes second in the championship now, Hercules, on the basis that that we lost old what's his name? T-Keg for the last race.
Yes.
Man on base, had a great season. Like you say, he started off, he was sort of 12th and 13th a lot of the time at the start of the season. He's come on leaps and bounds over the course of the season. He's really got up, and if Ferrari have lost that Constructors' Championship in the last race, that'll be heartbreaking for them.
I mean, if anything, you can blame T-Keg for not knowing how to tell time.
Jock James, I'm fully expecting him to pick up a penalty here when all of the rules are turned off. Such is his propensity for picking up penalties. Cookie, again, the front wing budget of this lad is unbelievable. You've never seen anything like it. But he's quick when he wants to be.
Yeah.
Daft, the ultimate for staying out of trouble, as I watch him drive into a wall on the Hanger Straight. It's been great fun this season. And I think what we've tried to do, me and Nugget, is we've tried to bring a sense of like community to the situation as well, like we would do in Rebel when we do Blood Bowl and whatnot. Just to make these guys feel like they're part of this division and that they're part of the show that we put on every week. Even if you finish in 10th or 11th every week, you're still a valuable part of it, right? You don't have to be the fastest driver.
Yeah, we're not here to go how you're pulling 0.2 of a second in a lap, and we're here to hopefully make sure everybody felt that they were as watched over as everybody else, regardless if you were Ice Kid Man qualifying first and winning first, or you were Jock James qualifying last and finishing last.
We've discussed this, haven't we? And Tom Mack does an amazing job on the Division 1 and 2 stream. They are phenomenal productions, those things. And I say that with a channel that's fairly renowned for decent production value, but that's just off the scale. That's insane.
Yeah.
But you've got we could take what I was saying. If we'd taken Division 2, if we'd taken Division 3, there's some excellent drivers up there. Oh, and Hercules is upside down and does a barrel roll on the main straight. That was worth it. But yeah, we've there's some amazing drivers in this league. Like Fraser won Division 1. He is just phenomenally good at this game. I don't know if we would have been able to produce half the show that we have without some of these guys who aren't perfect and who do get it wrong.
Yeah.
And it's just been so much fun to do that, right?
Yeah. I think me and Zod were both saying it now. Like we don't have any say on the divisions or how things are built of that, but I think we both said like if we were to get Division 5 again and it was the majority of these drivers, I could see it being a very enjoyable thing again next season.
That was an excellent donut from Hercules, by the way. 10 out of 10 for that one. That was superb. Nugget, setting the fastest lap of the race here, I think.
Oh, yeah. I've got to do it once in my life.
So as we see, the champion Ice Kid Man continue to do donuts with the rest of the field here in Division 5. That's going to be it for us. We're going to wrap it up. Yep. And we're going to call the stream there. Thank you so much to everybody who has tuned in this season and enjoyed the show. Thank you so much to all the drivers of Division 5 who have just been the nicest bunch of people. I know you don't all get on all the time and you don't have to. That's not how it works. But it's just been great fun.
Big shout out to FRS as well, who have kind of just let us do our own little thing here in Division 5. We've just kind of been given the reins and ran with it. I'll personally give a big shout out to Harringzord, who basically is the knowledge of the pair of us for Formula 1 and the production. I just turn up and talk shit kind of for...
Yeah, but on that thing, a thank you to you as well, Nugget, for you just brought an element to co-commentary that I never really thought we'd get. And I think it's worked. I genuinely think it's worked really well. So
we're going to send them off with your...
Yeah, in true Division 5 style, we will send you guys off for the season with a little video just to remind you of all the times we've had this season. Thank you so much, everyone, for tuning in this season. And we will catch you, hopefully, sometime in the future. Cheers, guys. can take a look at Connor, who we should congratulate. Connor again scored their first points of the season in Belgium.
Now, we're going to say nothing about the fact that was the first race that I've missed, and it being the first race that Connor scored points, okay? However, he did say to me in private messages after the race that he felt that he was going to do just as well here, and that should immediately curse him. So, Connor out turn 1 is my prediction.
Well, he's on the go, and he's out of the session there. Look at that.
No!
As his wheel steadily rolls away across the circuit, the Nugget curse returns.
You couldn't plan that.
TK alongside Nordy as they go down towards Eau Rouge. Contact between the pair and Nordy, and TK are out of this race. They're side by side, and this contact, Evil Steel is around and into the wall. Hercules is out. Oh, Homicep spins and Homicep is out. Oh no, in the wall, Nordy's out. And one, they are side by side. Dan Gilligan is not giving this one up in a hurry. Ice Kid Man is off the circuit, and it's rally style now from the Williams.
K-Pro coming into turn 4 though.
Round the outside. Unbelievable pass from Dan Gilligan. And Ice Kid Man is the Division 5 champion.